Opening bounce.
That's a good one.
That's a good bounce after yesterday. Bouncing was a problem out in that centre circle. Motlop driving the Kangaroos down towards half forward. Jones missed it. McPhee though in his back. Jones getting a free kick about 70 metres out from goal. Promising youngster. Some height on the forward line too. Steps around McPhee, 60 metres out. Penetrating kick down towards the kick-off line. Going back is Brown, who's made a good recovery this week. And that was a good mark going back with the flight of the ball. That elbow taped up. Showed some courage going back into a pack, colliding with Dale Kickett last week. Plays on around the boundary. Comes up towards the wing. Jones and McPhee, and from the side Fletcher waiting behind Stevens. Pulls it back towards the middle. Spider Burton. Awkward bounce. Met solidly. It spilt. That ball was thrown out, was it, by Motlop? Not according to the umpire. Didn't agree with umpire Healy. Here's a chance for Blakey. Wrestled down. Held to him, says the umpire, and a ball up.
A good chance to see McPhee, number 17 for the Dockers, taken as their first pick in this season's draft. Comes from Victoria, Dandenong Stingrays, the same side that the Loney brothers have come from and emerged as powerful players or impressive recruits this season.
Trying to soccer the ball forward. Bell against his old team. Missed it. And another bounce. Already they've started on Troy Longmuir down there. Hazelby, Longmuir, Eastor. I missed the other. Hazelby is a surprise.
Big surprise. Daniel Bandy not on the side, Dennis. Difficult to follow given that we get such an infrequent look at the Dockers, but his form been that bad?
Hasn't been good, but I'm surprised he's not out there this afternoon, and surprised he didn't play last week, particularly against the Tigers, who had so much height. Battle on the outer side. Motlop taken front on by Walker. Grant gets the hand pass away to Stevens. Stevens from half back kicks it up towards the wing. Up goes Burton, missed the mark, goes after it. Roved his miss, got it to Cochrane, across it comes to Harvey, arches the back, gets away, kicks down towards half forward. Now, wasn't a lot to that, but it was a relayed free kick. McKernan took the mark. In any case, kicks inside the 50, and it's marked by Jones, this time within scoring range, about 35 metres out.
Well, I thought the Logies had been finished, or it happened a month ago, because Brent Harvey on that occasion, I didn't think it was down the field. There wasn't much in that incident at all. But Jones, he's been a very good player, Jones. Medium-sized forward. Played a couple of games in a row now as a half-forward flanker. And normally a very good kick for goal.
Distance won't be a problem. Neither is accuracy. First goal of the game.
Geez, a lovely kick by Rowan Jones, and well, here we go, the chance for the Logie. Oh, spot on, sure. He picked it up nicely. Just a little bit late was the swinging arm, but well, nevertheless, he would have marked the ball anyway, as we just saw.
Kangaroos on top by the only goal in the game. Umpire Nichols to bounce it down. Burton, Harvey, Stevens and Simpson inside the centre square for the Roos. Comes to Harvey, kicks it down towards half forward. Backing himself against the bouncing ball was Parker. Upended across half back was Shipp, who kicked it out very wide. Bell roundly booed. Simpson on his knees. That'll be an interesting duel. It comes back to Simpson, slapped out of there. Colbert dragged off the kick. Wanders down towards full forward. McKernan claims the mark. Bit stiff. Play-on's the call close to the boundary line, and Brown pushes it out.
Let's just take a look as to whether this was a mark.
Oh.
It certainly was. He had control before it was slapped out of his hands.
Absolutely no doubting that one. So a bad break for McKernan, taken by Brown, surrounded by Kangaroos. Hurried kick from McKernan down towards full forward, going back with the flight of the ball. Simpson almost. Bell hurriedly taken high. He'll get the free kick. Peter Bell in the back pocket. The reigning best and fairest for the Kangaroos, getting a workout. Across the goal front, marked by Brown in the opposite pocket. Lee Brown plays on. The young Victorian puts it out of bounds on the full. Midway between half forward and centre wing. Former Docker Spider Burton kicks it back well inside the 50. Big pack at the drop. McKernan went high, follows the ball through. Brown stood in his path. It spills to Ship. Hurried kick, ricochets off McManus. Taken again by Ship. Gets the ball away towards McManus. He started well last week. He kicks it up towards the wing. Prescott in from the side. Knocked away by McCartney. Roving the pack is Carr. Spears a pass into Modra. And Modra marked about 5 metres inside the 50. And the umpire spots it and brings the man on the mark, Shannon Watt, back those 5 paces.
Gee, it was a good build-up by Fremantle then. Matthew Carr been a very good player for Fremantle this year. Former Collingwood player and also St Kilda. But good delivery to Modra then.
Tony Modra, his best effort against the Kangaroos, 10 as a Crow back in 1993. Can he recapture that sort of form today? Kicks from 52 metres. Good-looking effort too. Has it got the carry? Yes, it has. Scores a level.
Well, good start. Almost old-fashioned footy, Dennis. After what we saw yesterday, I saw a torpedo and a kick that actually hit the mark.
Don't be cynical.
It's a bit early for it, I realise that.
That's right. These are the Dockers. Anything could happen.
Tony Modra, well, he's always been a magnificent shot at the goal, and that time was no exception with Big Spider left with his limbs on the line.
Tony Modra, 17 goals for the season.
He looks like he's enjoying that too, Dennis, doesn't he? He's got a smile on his face, having a yap to his opponent.
It's good to see. Now, bad bounce in the centre, but a whistle, so a free kick to the Dockers. Obviously, encroachment by a Kangaroo. It's bounced into the centre square. Short one comes to Carr. Still alongside the centre circle. This man having a good season. There's Modra, sparked into life, up to the 50. How will he work in tandem with Shell? He's got the ball again. Well, a little slack by Watt, who thought the initial lead was enough and just backed off. So Modra's got it. Inside the centre square, foreign territory for him. He kicks inside the 50, spotting a man, Fuster, and he's marked about 40 metres out. He's a thumping kick. Distance won't be a problem.
Gee, that was great work by Fuster off the ball. I was watching Corey McKernan, and exactly like you said in the initial play, he dropped off the first lead, thought he was out of the play, and then Fuster doubled back into that space. As you said, distance never a problem for him from here.
No. Any score and the Dockers are in front. Kicks from right on the 50. Low trajectory, just sliding across the face. It's a pretty good effort. It's a goal. Just sneaking in.
Impressive right from the word go, that passage of play from Longmuir finding Modra. And then Modra finding the big bloke, who kicked it really well, sure.
Oh, he's a great kick, as in distance-wise. I'll just ask the question, Jared, have you seen anything with the Kangaroos that they're not ready for the contest? I think that's what Dennis Pagan would be looking for early in the game.
Well, I think just having a look at this first 5 minutes, I think you'd be taking it away from Freo. Have attacked the ball pretty well. I think the Kangaroos look okay. Let's find out over the next few minutes.
Longmuir did brilliantly, got it to Fletcher. Kings in the road though. 2 long-range goals to the Dockers. 2 very good kicks, Modra and Fuster.
Speaking of body language, you always get a positive impression when Stevens is near the ball.
Goes in short. Cochrane across to Motlop. Had it knocked away by Ship. Archer's come hard on his knees. Feeds it out. Here's a chance for Shell. Well up the ground. Stumbles it towards the boundary line. Gets it out.
There's the Kangaroos bench. Dennis, Rawlings, McLaren, Petrie and Shane Clayton.
Thanks, Ozzy. Boundary throw in. Just in front of those gentlemen. Burton and Longmuir. Very promising young player. There's Longmuir. Knocked it down in front. This is Bell. Slips the hand pass away to kick it forward at the wing. Kicks inside the 50. A probing kick. One-handed was Modra. Running behind it's Martin. Peeling off is Watt. This will be interesting. It won't get to him on the full. Bounced obligingly. Good chase from Modra. Affected the kick. It bounces up towards the wing. Grant hasn't got it, surely. Free kick. Shannon Grant on the outer side for the Kangaroos.
Being manned by Black. Walker's taking Harvey. Bell has Simpson and Stevens is with Fletcher.
Kick on the outer side. Chance for Archer. He got the crumb. Stifled off the boot by Longmuir. It ricochets down towards the 50. Down goes Archer. Tries to dig it out. Loose ball now inside the 50. Brilliant pick up by Pickett. Feeds it back. McManus saw the danger, got back, gathers the footy. Interesting hand pass, bounced okay. Fuster got past a couple of them. Hand passes out wide to Longmuir on the overlappers. Kick it from half back, drives it up towards half forward. In from the side, Fletcher. Very good aerialist. Brown calling for it deep in the middle. Not seen, goes towards the pocket and Shell. He can't get to it on the full, and it bounces across the boundary line.
Good run from Brown though. He's an impressive kid. He's throwing his hands up in despair. Why didn't you see me? And he would have run onto a goal, and it would have really put the pressure on Sav Rocker as we have a look at the Kangaroos coaching fraternity.
McCartney backhands
That's a throw.
It was, good call. So a free kick to the Dockers, again within scoring range. Pavlich this time, who is another long kick.
Yeah, probably twice at him here. Yeah, just even if he didn't hit that ball the last tap, I think it might have been called play on. Just those matchups too, Jared. Interesting. Ashley Prescott has probably started as a defensive half forward on David King. They've identified him as being one of the best attacking players for the Kangaroos.
Will they be right in their assessment?
No doubt. I think Brent Harvey's the other one. If you can try and stop quell their influence on the game, it helps you hopefully maybe win the game.
Important kick this one. To lead by 12 points. Pavlich likes it off the boot. It's a goal.
They've jumped out to a pretty handy lead, 3 goals straight. Obviously pretty enthusiastic. This sort of surface will suit them. They're a young side. They're capable of running hard. They just haven't been able to convert the goals. And, well, they've been able to do that in this first couple of minutes of the opening quarter. And that's the secret.
Dennis Pagan working the phones. His side down by 2 straight goals. The Kangaroos, of course, have never missed the finals under Pagan. Their lowest finish, 5th in 8 seasons. Back in the middle, a good bounce too. Up goes Burton. Longmuir is doing very well. Knocked it down. Grant had it, lost it. Motlop's got it now, upended. Pickett slaps it out wider. Grant back into the fray. Stood up in the tackle. Goes to Colbert. Immediately grabbed. Longmuir has it. Taken down. Surely it's holding the ball. It'll be a free kick to Pickett. We talked about his presence. Off his step, pops it up. Spotted Burton, up he goes, and he takes the mark against his old team directly in front of goal, about 35 metres out.
Hard to stop Dennis that height, but Spider Burton must have been free for 20 seconds there. It's pretty slack play.
You can't miss him, can you? Or shouldn't be able to.
Well, his opponent, Justin Longmuir, was tackled and gave that free kick away, so he's taken to the ground. He couldn't get back in time.
Good tackle to set this up.
Normally a reliable kick. Matthew Burton directly in front, sends it on its way. Good looking effort. 3-2.
Good reply by the Kangaroos. I think that just having a look at them, Shuri, I think they realise that they're going to need a pretty competitive performance here from all of their players. The Dockers have been lurking there, look just short of a victory, and they're too professional an outfit, you would think, the Kangaroos to fall for the trap of taking them too easily, but they have started the match in particularly good form.
Daniel Shell already off the ground. That's interesting. Talking with Ben Allen. Meantime, Simpson knocks it forward. Coming up hard was Jones. Down goes Cook in a tackle. Jones tries to pinch the footy from behind. Nothing doing there. So Simon Eastor, the former Essendon player, gets his chance.
And Longmuir's gone to the forward line, picked up by Martin. So really it looked like it was just a ruck rotation that has got Shell off the ground.
Bounce inside the centre square, not going all that high. Burton reaches over the top and taps it down. Down goes Stevens. Parker in the grasp. Colbert tries to move it forward. Black's got it now across half back. He pulls it back towards the middle. Harvey juggled attempt at the mark. Play on's the call. Advantage paid. It was going to be a free kick to Harvey. Pickett realises that. Goes across the ground. Beautiful kick. Grant's got it now. Breaks towards the 50. Shannon Grant from long range. It's bending back. Not enough. Behind.
Well, we've seen both sides of Byron Pickett's game, haven't we? There's Sav Rocker sitting on the bench at the moment for the Kangaroos, but Jared, I think he's probably equal with Aaron Hamill as the best defensive forward in the competition, Byron Pickett. And we just saw his kicking ability then also.
Thought Shannon Grant could have looked for an option other than just blasting away from the 50. Had Spider, had McKernan.
Good kick by Parker. Well, two Dockers up. Kickett and Fuster spoiled each other. Now Cook's got a problem. That's terrible footy. Cook's hand pass, indiscriminate. Clayton couldn't control it. Picked up there by Cochrane. Feeds it back to Jones. Inside the centre square. Cook anxious to make amends. Smothered it. Stevens hurriedly inside the 50. Black did well. Knocked it across the half-back line. Kickett will go off the ground. Wrong angle. It's inside the 50 now. Still Kickett goes. Well played. Knocks it towards the boundary line. Tracks it and takes it out. Just a reminder. Breakdown round 11 on i7sport.com.au. The facts, the figures from all the games over this long weekend in Melbourne. 18 plays 13. Dockers on top. Boundary throw in. Eastor. Fuster came from behind him. Down goes Colbert. This is Black. Deep in his own defensive area. Pulls it back towards the wing. Getting a hand to it, Prescott. Roving the pack was Cook. Got it to Carr. Carr runs a long way. Goes across the ground. This will be interesting. Pavlich is coming up. Awkward bounce. Knocks it across to McManus, who stopped it effectively. Pickett corrals him. He feeds it back to Walker. Walker on the wing goes to McManus. McManus running towards half forward. Where's the lead on the forward line? Well, drifting back is Cook. Longmuir was coming up. I'm not sure Cook was the target, but he was the man on the spot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Dennis, that he was the target. That was just fantastic vision by McManus. Cook just floated in at the last minute, and you'll see here on the replay, he just twisted it across the body. Troy Cook floated down. Fantastic play, McManus.
And Aussie, it was set up by smart play by Matthew Pavlich on the outer wing there. Instead of grabbing the ball, just tapped it back to McManus to give him some time and space.
Yeah, he's certainly a talent.
Troy Cook, not the best kick at goal in this team. Just tugs it a little left. Missed by less than a metre. Plenty to talk about. Interesting game. King, it came so close, at least we're told publicly, to becoming a Docker. Just chips it to the pocket, taken by Harvey. Harvey, 14 Brownlow votes last season, including 2 against the Dockers in round 10. Touched on the mark. It spills towards the 50. Taken by Walker. Casual kick. It comes back to him. Motlop charges through. Down goes Fuster. No free kick. It's scrambled out of there by Archer up towards the wing. Taken by Burton. Confronted by Kickett. Charging in again. Archer emerges with the footy. Pushes a teammate, friend and foe. Got out of the road quickly as the kick goes down towards the 50, but Parker gets back. Breaking hard for him is Eastor. It comes in that direction, and the big man gets his first kick as a Docker.
Entertaining game
about to.
so far, Dennis. Both sides running hard and hitting targets. Sometimes not the one they intended.
Not a memorable kick either.
Unlike that last one, Dennis, that one was not meant.
Carr's got it.
Interesting, Jared. James Walker's running with Brent Harvey.
Yep.
Kick towards the 50. Going back and taking a very good grab is Simpson. Haven't seen a lot of Peter Bell so far. Simpson with that job. Just chips it up towards the wing. Taylor made for Carr. Good aerialist. Got hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Archer arriving quickly and with ill humour, and the ball's out of bounds.
Well, there's Johnny Blakey talking to Dennis Pagan. That's one sight you don't want to see, is it? Glenn Archer running at you when you have to bend over the ball.
That's right. Tossed in on the wing. Burton knocks it down. McManus just missed it. Stevens is hurt. Copped a whack in the head. McManus feeds it back to Black, surrounded in real trouble. Almost holding the ball. It's jarred out of there. McManus has it, playing well. Goes across the ground, backed himself. Moving into space is Brown. Storms through the centre. Goes looking for a leading forward. Modra. Modra's juggled the mark. Now I think that was intended for Longmuir. And Modra came across on the angle and marked it.
Gee, that was an unbelievable kick by Sean McManus. Had to come off, but a switch like that is devastating. As we can see, Lee Brown running through the midfield. And a good pass.
Player, Shorey.
Lee Brown? Oh, no doubt.
Speed and the ability to deliver.
If he hadn't marked the ball, then Tony Modra would have been given a free kick for over the shoulder. Lee Colbert has just been taken to the bench also. So Dennis Pagan is probably trying to get some messages to their senior players at the moment. Jared, the way that they've started this game.
Plenty of movement on the forward line. Plenty of options for the players bringing the ball down. Tony Modra kicks it his second and slots it. Could this be the day?
Well, to win games, you've got to kick goals. It's no point racking up the possessions in the middle. Fremantle are one of the higher winning sides in the competition for their midfield possession winners. This is the sort of stuff, not a lot of possessions there, sure, just a penetrating kick to a leading target, tough mark, and not an easy shot at goal.
Have not seen that for a few years, that direct play, from Fremantle any time.
Man in form, Tony Modra, back in the team with 2 goals. Looking a different player to a month ago. Play restarts 4-1, 2-1. Next goal would be handy for the Dockers. Cook doing well, hacks it out of midair, down towards half forward. King storming across the ground. Still King, backed up on his own 50. Looks back towards the middle, penetrating kick to Clayton. Outnumbered, McPhee hit the pack hard, got the ball on the ground. Dragged down, picked up by Clayton, tries to knock it across. This is Pickett, the beneficiary, still inside the centre square. Little chip pass just forward of the wing. It's marked by Simpson. Clayton runs on down towards the half-forward flank. Simpson pulls it in that direction. That was an interesting kick, the look-away kick, and Clayton got it. A lot of deception on this ground this afternoon with these kicks. Clayton has it right on the 50. Sets it up to the kick-off line. Fletcher flew in front. Plenty of Dockers around the footy. Stevens digs it out, gets it across to Jones, who goes with a right boot and kicks the goal. His second.
Yeah, just 1 out of nothing there. The Kangaroos were just a shade more desperate. They lunged a little bit earlier than the Fremantle boys. In fact, you see here that there should almost be a free kick to Stevens because of that one where Ship came across and almost impaled him, but another good goal there to Rowan Jones.
Well, Jared, you talked about yesterday, we saw the game between the Cats and the Hawks. So far, much more entertaining, this one.
Oh, this is a beauty. Comparatively, both sides are attacking the footy. They're kicking the ball to leading options. In fact, they are hitting their targets, which is something we haven't seen for a couple of weeks.
There's no rhyme or reason to it, is there? Out wide, this is McPhee. Long way to go on this one. Of course, that game yesterday finished very close. McPhee runs it across the boundary line, intended for McManus. McPhee, a promising youngster. Longmuir off the ground.
Tony Modra's got a new opponent too. Glenn Archer's been taking the full back because of Modra's good form early in this game.
Hayes will be onto the forward line.
That's hardly a reward, is it? Getting Glenn Archer tossed in. Missed by Grant. McManus, hand pass was read brilliantly by Harvey, chopped it off, breaks away, kicks inside the 50. Worked under the ball down there was Watt, roving the pack. McPhee again, he's mastered this. He heads for the boundary line. That's even better than his last attempt. He bounces it out of bounds inside the defensive 50.
Well, he'll learn from that. He's had a lot more time than what he thought there, and went straight for the safety of the boundary line. Good defenders do it all the time, though, Jared, don't they? Under pressure, but there was no pressure.
Yeah, under pressure.
Had bad ones. Behind the pack, McPhee again goes up the middle this time, right up the gut of the ground. Blakey pushed. It'll be a free kick to the Dockers. 2 hands squarely in the middle of the back. I think Carr will get the free.
Yep. I think what's interesting is the ball is coming into the midfield and out of their defensive area so quickly that it's putting pressure on the Kangaroos. That rather than just holding it on, waiting to give a chip kick out, they're getting the ball into their forward line with some speed.
Tommy Hafey would love this. Kick it goes back. He's okay after that. Crash to the ground. Grant got it to Archer, who chips it out wide. Blakey's got it on the opposite side of the ground, and this time it is his kick. He drives it. Look at that kick. All of 60 metres down towards half forward. McKernan rather kept his footing. Tries to soccer it forward. Slaps it inside the 50. Eastor picks it up nicely for a big man. Pulls it back towards the wing. Reaching over the top, Carr. Goes after it, not required. Fletcher in the opposite direction. Feeds it back towards the middle. Crook kicks inside the 50. Modra went down. Martin takes the mark, plays on.
Wiki
breaks the half back. Crowd roars. He's out of bounds. He hand passes over the top. Cochrane back to Martin. They roar even more. Martin up towards the centre circle. Interesting finish. Needs to work on his finesse. It's taken by Kickett, who chips it across to Eastor. Eastor, rebound opportunity for the Dockers, swings it out wide, a chance for Bell. You'll know when he's near the ball. He's got it up towards right half forward. He pulls it across the body. Too much carry. Over the head of Prescott. Getting back is Burton, goes in short. Finds a teammate. This is Simpson. Off his step. Burton pushing up the ground. Carrying it towards the wing now. Matthew Burton unloads long. McPhee, tailor-made for him in from the side. Didn't mark it. Now a chance picked up by Clayton. Kangaroos. Motlop 30 metres out. Runs into an open goal and gets it. Scores 11.
And good roving there by Shane Clayton. He just came onto the ground 10 seconds ago. That was the first contest he got to. And it was just the speed at which the ball came in. McPhee had to either punch that away or take the mark. But it came to the ground and they were exposed because they had two players up at the contest and no support players on the ground. And that's where they got their goal from.
Just over 2 minutes till quarter time. Dangerous time this for the Dockers. You get the feeling the Kangaroos might feel they've weathered a storm. And now they press on and grab the lead just before quarter time. Brilliantly done by Burton down to Grant. Scrambles a kick towards half forward. Down goes Jones, met solidly. On the ground McManus, quickly away to Cook. He's had a lot of the ball. Kicks it up towards the wing. Reaching over the top was Carr. Stevens got a hand to it. Down goes Fletcher. Wide of the pack, it's Blakey. Sweeping hand pass over the top. Taken by Motlop, goes again to Stevens. Clayton outside, not required. Stevens left foot, sold him into trouble. Black bearing down. Cochrane though gets it to Motlop. Can he kick another goal in the space of a minute? Yes, he can. Great running goal.
Well, you're right there, Dennis. Motlop, 2 goals within a matter of minutes. But it's all coming from their half-back line with the Kangaroos end. Stevens wanted to get on his left foot. I didn't think it was good play by McManus. He knew he was going to get that left foot. Nearly got caught over to Cochrane. And Motlop, as we know, is one of the best converters in the competition. No mistake on that occasion.
So a change has taken place and the Kangaroos on top. So often the way with experienced teams, they let the opposition come at them hard and then rebound strongly late in the term. They've perhaps thought they've taken the best shot from the Dockers. That remains to be seen. Bell gets it out to Cook to McPhee. Kicks it wide. It bounces down towards half forward. Awkward bouncing ball. Wide of the congestion, Harvey. Sweeping hand pass taken by Stevens. Little give back to Harvey. Chips it around the boundary line. Grant, 3 of their key playmakers. That was interesting. He did a Stuart Appleby. Ball eventually spills out of the pack. On his knees, Prescott. Interesting way that came out as well. Play goes on. Fletcher, he's got it. Draws a man, goes over the top. Clock is running inside the last minute. Pavlich sends Hazelby away. Not a good hand pass. Hazelby comes back towards Pavlich. Can he kick his second from a sharp angle? No. Just sneaks in from behind.
And Dennis put that one down to a fantastic tackle by Glenn Archer. That stopped them in their tracks.
And also put it down to probably a slack training session during the week, which was evidently exposed somewhere where targets aren't hit. And the reason coaches go stupid when you don't hit targets at training is for that very reason. That handball should have set up an easy shot at goal for Hazelby. In the finish, the Kangaroos get the ball back.
Well, they kick on goal without pressure if the handball's good. And once the handball doesn't reach its target, the pressure just doubles.
Blakey to Stevens. Needed to be precise, and it wasn't that kick. King got fingertips to it. It spills across the boundary line. So just under 30 seconds remaining in the term. And it's the Kangaroos by 5 points. Boundary throw in outer side. Burton and Pavlich. Falls in front. McCartney. Too easy. Kicks for the boundary line and finds it, gaining about 25 metres.
I think Spider Burton's touch in the ruck has sort of changed the trend of the game, hasn't he? He's got some good hands to the ball, gave him first access at ground level.
Interesting. Burton in front, reaching back and finding Eastor. Dying seconds of the term. Black slides a hand pass away. Walker runs away. A centering kick. The Dockers need a mark. Well, he did the hard work, Modra. Worked himself into position. I think he expected some body contact. Late rally here for the Kangaroos, not in time as Clayton spots Grant. So a miss really at one end, then a lucky let off at the other as the Kangaroos were marching.
Month or so, and has reasserted himself. The big fella just couldn't get it around the ground. He's always been good in the ruck, but got to do more than that these days. And we've already seen him kick a valuable goal in the first quarter.
Start of the second term then. It's the Kangaroos by 5 points. Burton slaps it down. Socket off the ground by Black down towards half forward. Hazelby, unkind bounce. Leading back is King. Lays it off with a hand pass taken by McCartney. Up towards the wing. Harvey's got it. There's a Docker down in the centre circle. I think it's Longmuir. Meantime, Harvey kicks inside the 50. Colbert coming back. Fuster did well. That hurt Colbert too. He's slow to get up. Close to the boundary line, McKernan. Still he goes, McKernan. Had the bounce. Lays it off. Coming up is Harvey. High ball towards the pocket. Big leap at the back from Jones. Off hands out of bounds.
Yeah, they're calling for, sorry, Dennis, they're calling for the stretcher. They're going to have to stop the game here.
Let's just see how it happened. It was, I'd suggest, in the ruck, Jewel.
Oh, no.
It was Lee Colbert.
Hopefully the young man's okay. Moving that head about, which is a good sign. Justin Longmuir. So a real problem now. Eastor will come onto the ground and may have to go the distance. There it is again.
He had consciousness, I thought. He put his hands to his head, but hopefully it's not a neck injury. And
Well, it didn't look like he hit him actually directly on the head, but
bit of whiplash there, Jared. You'd know that stuff being a physio.
well, yeah, I'll tell you what, you know what it feels like too when you're being an ex-footballer, Shuri, when you've been in and around packs. But that is such a dangerous incident, isn't it? You got your head over the footy. We saw, I think, was it Stephen Coope suspended? Was it last year, or it was last year?
It was the season before.
Yeah, I didn't think there was a lot of spite in that though, Jared. It was just the timing of it. You know, everything sort of worked together. And
I didn't think there was any spite in the Stephen
letter of the
Coope's
law.
one either.
Yeah, letter of the law. You have to pay a free kick to protect the head, but maybe the umpire was on the blind side because there was no free kick paid. But I don't think that should go any further. I'd hope it wouldn't. And let's hope, hopefully, the young kid's going to be all right.
He's done a terrific job for the Dockers this season. Justin Longmuir, last week virtually their sole ruckman against some pretty tall timber from the Tigers. And after Lee Brown went down, lacked any sort of size support at all. And really battled on. His improvement has been terrific, and one of the keys for the Dockers' better performances this season. So a sad sight for him. Hopefully he can come back this afternoon, although that would seem a forlorn hope.
It's a sad sight, and probably the non-selection of Daniel Bandy hasn't helped the situation, because I think Daniel Bandy would be in their top 22, and I still think the ball was in the vicinity, and even Lee looks at him there thinking I've got him pretty well.
Yeah, well, none of the Fremantle Dockers players remonstrated. It looked as if he copped him more on the shoulder than the head.
So a big task here for Simon Eastor. He's been playing well for South Fremantle in the local competition, the WAFL back in Perth. A lot of people insisting he should have been in the side earlier. Well, he gets his chance now. What a big responsibility, because he'll be lacking support.
He's a big boy, that Brown. Have a look at him up against Colbert.
He's just making it known, and he might have seen the replay, I'd say.
Boundary throw in meantime. Here's a chance for Harvey. Feeds it across to Clayton. Dragged down as he kicks, but the kick is accurate. It's a goal.
Well, this is the testing time for the Dockers. They've got out to a great start. They flew out of the blocks. But it's not about just getting yourself pumped up for 20 minutes. You've got to have that motivation deep inside the guts that will sustain you through 4 quarters of footy. Certainly the Kangaroos won't just fall over.
And James Walker needs to do a better job on Brent Harvey at the moment. Dominant in midfield.
Wayne Carey missing this afternoon, as we said earlier. A dominant player last time these sides met with 7 goals. Started in defence and then pushed forward. And the Kangaroos had a big victory. Bell, who's been quiet, goes looking for support from McManus. Run off the ball. Clayton, who kicked that last goal, gets it to King. Is back to goal. He hand passes out wide. Accommodates Grant. Grant from half-back kicks through the wing. Burton in front, fisted away by Eastor, trying to rove the pack. Stevens. A little toe poke, a gentle one from Burton, gains about 5 metres. Dainty.
Swan Lake.
Brent Harvey's had 9 possessions so far. Jared, he set up that goal then to Clayton. Maybe they need to make a change there.
Does that make him the go-to man?
Yeah.
Throw it in just outside the 50. Burton hooks it down behind, crashing his way through. A chance for McLaren. Spills out behind, but it's not coming out of the pack. And the ball up.
We just saw the people on the bench for the Kangaroos, Aussie, they've got plenty of height in store.
They certainly have, with Petrie, Rocker, Shannon Watt and Brady Rawlings. That is for sure, Jared.
Dennis never goes in undermanned as far as height's concerned.
Burton over the top, knocked it down. Fletcher in the road, goes looking for Bell. Intercepted brilliantly by Simpson, just read that move so easily. Goes in short, and this is Harvey. His 10th possession now, Brent Harvey. Not beyond him.
You just got to worry how a player like Harvey's ability is allowed to get forward of the play like that by himself, 20 yards free.
Kicks from 48. Hangs it out to the right. It's not coming back. In fact, it hasn't got the carry. McKernan takes the mark. Right on the line.
Well, he is just too big at the moment down there.
I think it's one thing, the most frustrating thing ever happened to a coach, Jared, is for a key position player to mark the ball 1 metre from the goal line. It doesn't matter who you are, 4 or 5 players have to go up and make sure you force a point.
He had Fuster there. He should have been able to put body on body. That's a good kick from McKernan.
His first goal.
And all of a sudden it's starting to look a little bit dangerous with the Kangaroos getting the first couple in this term. They've kicked the last 5 goals, have the blue and white, and just here it is again. He had Fuster behind, no body contact whatsoever. And, well, that was just not good enough.
Well, Brendan Fuster making contact now belatedly. Needed to in that last contest. He stood and McKernan took the mark. Fuster had to be the 3rd man in with a punch. Up goes Burton decisively, laid it down. Simpson towards half forward. Strong mark is taken by Colbert. Suddenly, the alarm bells are sounding for the Fremantle Dockers. The Kangaroos looking very good, very precise.
And Fuster and McKernan are still going at it in the goal square. I know what I'd be saying was Corey McKernan, Jared. Have a look at that scoreboard, son. I've added one to that.
And McKinnon's taken him across to position A, where he took the last mark.
Using the goalpost as a block.
Colbert swings it to the other side and misses, so a let off for the Dockers. The Kangaroos stretch their lead. Parker in short, taken by Kickett, lays it off to Carr. Carr goes very wide towards the outer side, and Fletcher coming up the ground on the lead. Hazelby is on for the next one. But McPhee kicks it down towards centre half forward, and Pavlich, well worked. Definitely a change of pattern for the Dockers. Pavlich across the ground. Modra comes on the lead, outnumbered. Got it on the ground, 3 against 1. Out of bounds would be a good result. That wasn't the place to go. Should have kept going towards the boundary. As a result, Stevens comes to half forward, and McLaren's got it. Plays on. McLaren, not a good kick inside the 50. McKernan, awkward bounce. McPhee goes back. Like a Mac attack there. McPhee has a bounce. Runs it outside the 50. Off the ball, Fuster and Pickett got involved. McPhee, meantime, kicks down towards half forward. Archer takes the mark. Gets it across to Corcoran. He's got the ball on the outer side. He's been good. Comes back towards the middle, and Blakey. Nobody near him. Blakey squares the ball now. Interesting kick. Motlop has it inside the centre square. 2 runners outside. He goes to them. McManus, though, sensing the danger, came across, outmarked by Simpson. Simpson feeds it back. This is Motlop, forward of the wing. Goes past Kickett from about 75 metres out. 2-on-1 down there for the Dockers, and the man in front, Fuster, takes the mark.
Well, the Dockers have taken the ball inside their forward 50 twice in the last couple of minutes, Shorey, but both times the delivery in there has just been ad hoc and not pinpoint. It's just been whipped straight back into putting pressure on their defence.
Carr gave it to Black. King's in the road, though.
Once again, long bomb out of a defence. You've got to hit a target.
King to Colbert. 80 metres from goal towards the pocket. Jones waits in from the side. Carr angles the punch away out of bounds.
And Dennis, good news for all Fremantle supporters. Justin Muir on the bench and looking quite good, so that's fantastic news.
Terrific result.
Just one player there who has turned the ball over. He's been good, though. I thought, as Adam McPhee. He's been quite impressive, except for his disposal.
And we saw the second, his second last kick was a beauty. He spotted somebody 40 metres away. He's inexperienced.
Wonderful stuff from Pickett. What a goal! Wonderful goal.
Well, as I said to you, Jared, I think, along with Aaron Hamill, one of the best defensive forwards in the competition, but gee, you can set your light with this. He had to be moved from the back line, Jared. There's been a lot of talk about why, because he was averaging 2 to 3 goals kicked against every week. And you've got a player of his ability who can hold the ball in by the way that he tackles and open up opportunities for others, and then have the skill to do that. It is a main weapon, isn't it?
It's a great transformation in a player during a year.
So the Kangaroos looking good. What a wonderful goal from Byron Pickett. 8-2 plays 4-2. It's the way they've constructed this lead. They took plenty from the Dockers and they've come back with even more. Cochrane out of the centre, kicks it down towards half forward. Jones, interesting. Down goes Ship. Walker left without it. Harvey tries to knock it out. Black rides a bump. Should have been tackled. He kicks it up towards the wing. In front out there is Fletcher. Left it behind. Nicely picked up by his opposite number. That's Colbert. Chips it out wide, the number 2. The mark is taken by Motlop. He's been dangerous. Looks back towards the middle. Here comes McKernan. Juggled attempt at the mark. Didn't hang on. Bell, pile driven by McKernan.
Got plenty.
No love lost there on the outer side. Down goes Ship. Picked up by Walker. Gets it to Black. Black out of defence, gives it to Fletcher. Fletcher comes up towards the middle, finds Kickett by hand. Kickett inside the centre square, probing kick inside the 50. Modra should have got a free kick, he was taken high. Pavlich knocks it towards the boundary. Still Pavlich, could have almost been out, pulls it back. Getting back though is Stevens in the goal square. High ball. Eastor comes hard, gets a fist on it. Having to wait underneath it, King, it's out of bounds.
Well, you called the free kick, Dennis. I thought it was clearly there, around the neck. Just a nice little grab from Mickey Martin, knowing the umpires were in the centre of the ground. He got away with it.
Boundary throw in, 60 metres out. Dockers needing a goal. Burton directs it down. Shannon Grant disposed of. Martin hurriedly. Pickett, awkward bounce, battles with Kickett. Stayed on his feet, Byron Pickett. Little chip inside the centre square. Ship did well, stepped around his opponent, but held on according to the umpire. A bit stiff there. Jones to get the free. Could almost be 50 as he lobs it back, his high lob. Jones looks for Stevens. Wayward kick. McPhee showing composure there. Backed himself, just peeled off, read the play. This is Fletcher. Men on in the middle. Carr's got it now. Lead comes from Prescott. That's ignored. Not much happening up ahead. Carr waits. Still he waits. Now he plays on. Not a good result, although Kickett misses the mark. That was bad luck for the Dockers. They had a break there. Bell's over the ball. Immediate company holding the ball, says the umpire. Crowd love that decision. Bell doesn't.
Well, nothing more frustrating for players. They make the play and they get pinged.
Pickett's got it from Harvey. Inside the centre square, Byron Pickett unloads. Miscue slightly with a torpedo. From behind the leap down there, Stevens falling to the ground, throws it on the boot and narrowly misses.
Got to ask the question about Paul Hazelby, how their use of him, Jared, when out of the middle of the ground, the Kangaroos are dominating at the moment. Best first-year player last year, has not had a run, or been on for about 5 minutes as a forward pocket.
His form has been good this year too, so that is a surprise. He's nursing a bad back, but yes, used sparingly. This is Parker. Drives it very wide, extremely wide, totally wide, out of bounds on the full. Bad effort. Archer to send it back in, told to play on. Archer pops it up. McKernan stayed off the pack that time. Colbert was up, crumbed by Grant. How will it bounce? It goes towards the goal line, just trickles across for a behind. Nine possessions for Shannon Grant. 8-4 plays 4-2, so the margin 26 points. And this one now in danger of slipping away from the Dockers. They need to be careful. That kick a little untidy, taken by Kickett, swings it back to the middle. Brown's got it at centre half back, comes across the ground. This will be interesting. McKernan was unaware. McManus dropped the mark, should prove too nimble here. Tracking in McKernan. Was that a push in the back? It was good pressure if it wasn't. Close to the boundary line. Down goes Pavlich. Well, that was strange. McKernan was running with the man, not watching the ball. He was surprised when he saw the shadow. Do you see a shadow under the roof? I expect you do. just cruise over his left shoulder. He was coming off the ground. Well, that's right in the middle of the back, nevertheless, but still.
He's off the ground now, McKernan. Sav's come on for a run.
Close to the boundary line, Clayton tried to go back towards the middle. It was well blanketed by Brown and Shipp in tandem. The kick down towards half forward from Bell, taken by McManus, goes across the 50. Here comes Shell, not normally that good on the ground. Hand passes it back, concedes about 15 metres. Prescott's got it now, 85 metres from goal. Centering kick, Dockers queue up. Eastor takes the mark, he's 60 metres out. Modra wants it deep, not bad policy. He'll come from behind here, no, going back with great courage. McCartney takes the mark. He's up and wide-eyed. That was a terrific effort.
Well, the Kangaroos now are just double teaming Modra. Burton's getting into that front position. I think they've got to go to Pavlich a little bit more. The Fremantle Dockers.
Stevens, nice kick coming out, releases Blakey. His 200th game for the Kangaroos this afternoon. That was interesting. I think he got the colours mixed up there. It was a blur. Eventually, the hand pass came from Cunningham across to Bell. In short, this is Cook. He was running oblivious to all around him there, Blakey. The short one down towards the pocket. Cunningham, welcome to the AFL.
Probably a shade lucky there. Could have been a hell of a lot worse. I think McCartney.
Hey, Byron.
Oh.
Well, Byron was chancing his arm, wasn't he? There was a couple.
Well, Dennis Pagan, there's no doubt I would say Byron Pickett would come from the ground. And there wasn't. It was welcome to the AFL. You're right, Dennis.
He could have just given him a bit more. I thought Jason was a little bit kind there.
Well, that was just a bump. There was nothing in here. If we see the reap, here it is here. Oh, look at that. Come on. 50-metre penalty, and Byron, as I said, Dennis Pagan, he won't take any lack of discipline at any time in the game.
Cunningham kicks a goal.
It's going to be interesting for the boys, the faceless men of the video umps this week, Dennis, when you consider we've got two nonsensical little love taps, Ronnie Burns and that little bit of nonsense, what they're going to do.
When there's a punch, not a punch.
Exactly. Generally when... forget it.
Interesting to the smile, Byron Pickett and Peter Bell.
Yeah.
Oh, rump.
I
can't believe that you could do that.
Let's give him 50.
Oh.
No.
The game is evolving.
I've seen everything now.
No sense of theatre, the umpire.
Oh, gee.
And sure, he picked it with Dennis Pagan. Byron Pickett looked at the runner, knew he was coming off, didn't even have to be told.
He'll be back on in 20 seconds, Aussie.
8-4-5-2, storming through as Bell tries to knock it forward. Petrie gets a hand pass across to Grant, upended. Simpson in there as well. This is Archer across half back, swings it out wide. McLaren takes it now, and he can run. He's quick. McLaren coming down towards half forward. Well, McManus left his feet, jumped in the air. McLaren kicks inside the 50, hangs a long time. That's bad news for Fremantle. Fisted forward, good result for them. Colbert ran into a dead end. Parker got it away. Kick comes out wide. Shipp to McManus. McManus wants to go. Walker runs hard for him into the hole. Goes beyond that. It bounces down towards half forward. Cunningham sold Pavlich into
19
trouble.
seconds for Pickett. Sorry.
Kangaroos have got the numbers. Hate to say we told you so. Diving after it is Kickett. And that ball is bouncing around in there. Eventually spills wide. Taken by Clayton. Across towards King. Prescott's doing a very good job on him. Wrestles him down.
And Heath Black has now gone on to Brent Harvey, who was chopping up the Dockers in the early part. There's Byron Pickett.
I wonder what he said to him, Jerry, in that 19 seconds.
No idea. Probably you're not going to knock out anybody with that left hand.
You're right there, Dennis. David King's had 5 possessions for the game.
Yeah, Prescott did a terrific job last week on Knights, and a couple of weeks before that on Smart. Socket off the ground by Stevens up towards the wing. Archer, what a warrior, goes in sliding after that one. Clayton been handy, back towards Archer. Archer across towards Clayton, scrambles about 15 metres with a kick, taken by Colbert over the shoulder. Cook had it, lost it. Cochrane goes to ground, hand passes back towards the boundary, and out it goes. All the stats, all the reports on i7sport.com.au. Find out about round 11. Will Byron face the tribunal? That will be, I think, shown during the week on i7sport.com.au. The laughter supplied by Tony Shaw. Boundary throw in on the wing. Fuster had it, tried to trap it, didn't succeed. Rocker played it well, knocked it on. Stevens kicks inside the 50. Colbert.
Well, should never have got there. despite his inexperience, McPhee's been playing footy for a long time, and that one should have been smothered. Have a look here. He took his eyes off the ball. He didn't come in and approach the boot. It should have been. It was a simple smother in reality.
That was one for Oz kick, wasn't it, Jared?
Yep.
Always bring your hands towards his boot instead of down on the boot.
Lee Colbert kicks from 40, bending back beautifully. Well judged, right over the umpire's hat.
Well, I guess we just point out those skill things because the kid's in his first game. He's had a darn good debut, has McPhee. There you see him. He took his eyes off the ball. You can't smother by instinct. You've got to watch the ball. And, well, it came to Colbert, and he kicked it very, very well.
Ship is off the ground. Troy Longmuir is on. Good news about Justin Longmuir. Sitting up bright-eyed. And they're on the bench. Eastor out there in the middle meantime. 9-4-5-2. About 7.5 minutes out from half-time. Neither ruckman touched the ball that time. Battling after it, Petrie got it across eventually towards Archer, who kicks down towards half-forward. Awkward bounce. Okay for Carr. He comes away, kicks it back through the middle. Petrie goes back with courage. Over the top came Cunningham. Bouncing off one would-be tackler as Kickett. And the man he hit was Archer, and Archer was slow to get up. He was the would-be tackler. It comes across to King meantime. It comes out wide to Clayton. Man on towards the middle. Clayton bypasses the first lead. Interesting kick. Fewster was up, missed it. Cook waiting behind. Hot hand pass. Black with some time though. Spots Brown running towards the outer side. Stevens nipping at his heels. Black wasn't prepared to take the risk. He gets the ball across the boundary line.
Oh, just watch Glenn Archer here. And sometimes when you tackle and you think you got the jump on the opponent, you come off second best. And he's okay now, Glenn Archer. Back into it.
McKernan brilliantly done. Gets it down to Stevens towards full forward. Colbert plays on immediately. Gets the hand pass away to Pickett back on the ground, and he's wide of the mark. In fact, the umpire insisting it come back to Colbert, which is a very good break for the Kangaroos.
I don't know whether that was smart football. I don't know how Dennis Pagan would see that, Jared. Was it smart football or a bit
would have been smart if
overconfident?
Kicked the goal.
Yes, it would have been, exactly.
Like a lot of things in footy.
The Kangaroos have been in 50 29 times to 16 at the moment.
Sharp angle, as you can see. Colbert right on the boundary line. Only about 15 metres out, if that. Kicking at his second. His last was a beauty. Comes around, goes with the check side. McKernan got one of those. Now I think Colbert has missed. His form improving week by weekly, Colbert. Now a valuable member of this team. Gives them a lot of flexibility. There's Parker meantime. Dockers needing the next goal after a very promising start. Parker, long distance kick and a beauty. Precise to the outer side over 60 metres. Carr to kick it. That's good work. Up to midfield and Brown. Very well worked by the Dockers. A runner inside. That's Cook. Should have given it. Brown's kick, not a good one, down towards half forward. Bell somehow trapped it, was being held without it, tries to go goalward with a hand pass. McPhee snaps very high. They'll contest deep in the pocket. Knocked down by Watt, taken by Cunningham. It came off a boot of a Kangaroo, out of bounds on the full. So a lucky break for the Dockers as Burton sits down.
He's got some pace, Cunningham. Dennis, I'm not sure what you know of him, but
not very much.
He has got great closing speed. He's the man of the moment. Peter Bell gets a welcome return from the locals.
Just young McPhee there too. Look, Jared, young player, he'll learn the game. He just thinks he's hot all the time. Yeah. He'll know sooner or later you're not under pressure all the time.
Lacking crowd support, Peter Bell misses to the near side. That's been the story of his goal kicking this season. So often missing to the right. Joined North Melbourne in '96, played 100 games and kicked 98 goals for the Kangaroos. And as I mentioned earlier, they're reigning best and fairest. That would have been a handy goal. King repeats the dose that we saw from Parker just moments ago. A lovely kick, precise to Rocker at half back. Kicks it up towards the wing. 2-on-1. Colbert got hands to it, couldn't hang on. Parker spins nicely out of trouble. Hand passes back towards the middle. Eastor gives it to Carr. Cook is on towards the centre. That's a precise kick. Cook's taken the mark. Had it knocked away? Could well be. No. But for a moment it could be 50, given what we've seen this afternoon.
Rocker off for Spiders. Still Hazelby staying on the bench, and given that he's the future of the club, you'd expect to get a bit more exposure in the second half, unless he's injured.
Oh, here he is now. Just came on, Jared, as you said that.
Got it from Black and Pavlich.
Too much creative ability to have him wasting on the bench.
Bell in trouble. Watt's got it now. Only as far as Hazelby. Hazelby, a very lofted kick. Oh, Modra, shades of old, off hands. Archer, third man in the queue across the line.
It's almost the alley-oop.
Yes, it was. Setting it up. Yeah, off comes Cook. Matumbo to Iverson, or vice versa.
Just didn't quite get the sit, did Tony Modra.
Not too many of those these days. Football Park was an exciting place when Modra was on song. There goes King's kick out towards the outer side. Leading in the race towards the boundary line is Grant. Concedes about 15 metres. McCartney comes back to Shannon Grant. Grant in space now, comes down towards half forward. Nice kick. Colbert's got it. Moving very lively across half forward, Colbert. He's had his detractors, but he's looking good this afternoon. Goes to McKernan.
I'll put this one to you, Jared. Do you think the Kangaroos have just changed their style of play to suit their personnel this year, where they drop a short in and then go over the top instead of always kicking long the centre half forward?
I think it's been a highlight of their transition. Dennis Pagan is now playing more possession footy.
Tough angle. Corey McKernan bending it back. His second goal. What a beauty.
Well, I'd give him 10 shots from there, Jared. If he could slot one out of that 10, that was it.
Sounding like Rob
That's
Barassi.
the averages.
I tell you what, McKernan has really, I think, found a new lease of life with Carey not there. He's just got more space, and the focus has probably been on him a little bit more.
I think Sav Rocker's been good in that area also, because it is hard once you're kicking to a champion.
Yeah.
You don't worry about anybody else.
A lot of smiles in the back of the box there. Wayne Carey. And why not? 10-5-5-4. Just over 3 minutes out from half time. Here's Harvey. Claimed. Stevens feeds the hand pass back. Simpson. Little chip out wide. Archer pushing up from half back. Glenn Archer decides to have a run. Not much on offer. Goes for McKernan. Fuster over the top. Punches towards the boundary line and gets it out. Rocker back on now.
Well, even that play then, Simpson to Archer, that would not have happened or occurred under Dennis Pagan over the last 10 years. They would have got the ball and kicked it straight to centre half forward and everybody front and centre. So definite style change from Dennis Pagan as a coach.
Fuster and McKernan.
Oh, it's a free kick.
Has to be a free kick. McKernan was just tackled as the ball was thrown in. Still.
Listening to you, Shuri, this morning on radio, it's definitely umpiring season. She's opened up.
Open slather.
Bill Brown down towards half forward. Leaning back is Stevens. Coming up to meet the ball is Watt. Takes the bouncing ball. Hand passes out wide. Close to the line, Blakey. Gains about 5 metres. Throw it in, says the central umpire. We got that one right.
It's been a bugbear of mine for 5 years, Jared, that the bounce down has not been consistent up. It's a one area of the game where it has to be a 50-50 because it's a stop play. I think they should throw it up, and I think it takes pressure off the umpires.
You get no argument from this box, I suspect, Shuri.
Especially after yesterday.
Oh, well. I think we've had a few examples of it.
McManus towards half forward. Modra to Fletcher. Interesting. Cunningham. Open goal beckons. Well, the pressure of league football. He still kicked the goal, but he had hours to kick that one.
He looks a good mover, though, Cunningham. He's got pace and he's got that left foot. And he doesn't mind putting his body in from what we've seen. He looks a pretty handy sort of player. This handball was a bit suspect from Adrian Fletcher, but there was just that little pressure. Finally, he had a ton of time, which he didn't use much of. But he still got his first goal in footy, second.
So Ben Cunningham making his mark. Nice goal. Had plenty of time. Didn't use it all, as Jared said, but it was a nice snap. 6-4, 10-5. Sticking around the Fremantle Dockers. Close to half-time. Another goal would make it interesting. Fletcher over the ball. Knocks it forward. Taken by Hazelby. Twisting, turning. Kicks it down towards half-forward. Pavlich in front. Fingertips to it. Couldn't hang on. Storming through his kick it. Left the footy behind. Watt sockers it off the ground. Simpson taken down. Pickett overran it. Simpson tries to slap it out. Chopped off by Modric. Dragged down by Pickett. The ball fell loose. Opportunity then for Ship back on the ground. Pulls it back towards the middle. Big pack. Pavlich grabs it. Snapshot. Repeats the dose. Cunningham moments ago. Now Pavlich. Snap goal. I have to say there's a lot to like about these young Dockers.
Well, I reckon they're, you know, you look at their list, Dennis, and they are minus a number of match winners. That's why they've been losing the close games. But if you wanted to look for a side that has got the infrastructure to take you forward, if you had the ability to pick up 3 or 4 senior players to go with Peter Bell, then the Dockers are well placed.
Ben Allen, Kevin Bryant, former North Melbourne player alongside, and of course on the other side, the Brownlow medalist for North, Ross Glendinning back in '83. Coming through is Fletcher. Dockers looking better. Here's Bell. Hazelby. He's been important. Throws it on the boot. Can they claim a mark here? Dying minutes of the term. Troy Longmuir went back, missed the footy. It spills to Archer. Could have been taken high. Gets out of congestion. Swings it out wide. Chance for Motlop. He's got a couple of goals, Motlop. Pickett anxious to shepherd. A long way from the footy too. Motlop up on the wing, kicks it inside the attacking 50 and getting away once more, McKernan. And this one not beyond them. We saw Colbert kick a goal from almost the identical position. And what we've seen, this ball tends to go left to right for no good reason.
Just got to be able to sustain their skill level under the pressure that Kangaroos have put on. They should be shooting at the other end of the ground.
McKernan,
great kick.
It's coming back again, left to right, it's a goal. Air conditioning duct.
I was just going to say that should have been a certainty after his last conversion from the other side on his non-preferred.
Yeah.
But you're right, Jared. Even that chance then, one of the Fremantle players went up, showing a lot of courage, but just didn't read the play enough. And the rebound from Archer and Motlop. Been very good, Motlop, since he's come on. He's kicked 2 goals and has carried the ball. Looks like he's playing nearly on a wing. But Corey McKernan, when he's up and running, devastating forward. I agree with you, Jared. The pressure's off with Wayne Carey there now. He becomes the key player.
3 goals to Corey McKernan. 11-5 plays 7-4. Burton goes up, the backhander. Simpson dragged down immediately by Fletcher.
They've made a change. Fuster is off McKernan, and I think it's Brown gone down there.
McManus's hand pass out wide. Cochrane kicks towards half forward. Fuster took it low down. Gets past Colbert, kicks it out wide. Now an opportunity. Eastor being tracked by Harvey, and Harvey is really motoring. Eastor, that was cunning. Fell to the ground, comes up with the footy, gives it across to McManus. McManus left half forward, pops it inside the 50. Mark is taken by Watt.
In fact, it's Shane Parker that's gone down onto Corey McKernan.
It's giving a lot away a lot of height to McKernan, Shane Parker, and body strength.
Yeah, but sometimes the height I don't think is the main requirement for matching him up. I mean, Fuster's got the height and he's been slaughtered.
Yeah, true.
Michael Wilson picks up James Hurd. Just seems to be able to use the body a bit better.
I think Lee Brown would suit McKernan a little bit better also.
Shell and Cook looking on. Boundary throw in. We're down to 16 seconds remaining in the half. Either side could do with a quick takeaway here if they're going to score. Burton flicks it down behind. Simpson dragged down, showing courage. Pickett kicking in danger, says the umpire, and that could be the last action of the term. Pickett to take this kick. Clock stops on 5 seconds. Goes out wide. Archer. There's the siren for half-time. And the Kangaroos have done pretty well after being challenged in the opening 15 minutes or so. The Dockers came out full steam ahead.
We've seen a bounce takeaway.
I take your point. Start of the third term.
Is there anybody
11-5-7-4.
who is responsible for this, Dennis?
I don't know. A statistician, a number cruncher somewhere. Away we go then. Eastor knocks it down. Great desperation at the feet of the ruckman, and the ball will be bounced again.
I think it is twofold between those two sides. No doubt the Kangaroos are classier in their key position forwards. And one thing I do like, I think Matthew Plavlich has to play forward. Has to be forward all the time for Fremantle.
I think you're right.
Cook's being tagged by Glenn Archer.
Again, the ball falls at the feet of the ruckman. Bell soccers off the ground down towards half forward. Swung around was Cunningham. He's booted a couple of goals. He applies a tackle then, having lost the ball initially, and another ball up. So if we're talking about efficiency, I mean, the ball can be kicked 15 metres sideways when a lead was on at centre-half forward. It shows up as 100%, but of course the kick the team required was to centre-half forward, maybe long on a long lead.
Simpson just pushing Bell away from the ball. He's 7 metres away.
Shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Well, that's why you've got 3 umpires.
Motlop trying to spin out of trouble, spun into more trouble. Hand pass eventually though from Stevens, releases Simpson, tumbles a kick down towards half forward. McKernan, brilliantly done. Pickett released into space, 25 metres out. Loves that situation.
Well, that was too easy, Shorey.
Well, Byron Pickett, I want to ask or see where Dale Kickett is on this occasion on his opponent, because you have to be at least goal side or try and make an effort to stop your man getting to that position. Now there's Byron Pickett. Dale Kickett is on him, and you can't see him in the picture, but I can tell you he was following him into that contest 7 or 8 metres behind. Had to try and block him getting forward.
12-5 plays 7-4. Not the start the Dockers were looking for. Byron Pickett now has booted 2 goals. Burton again decisively down to Stevens, knocked away. Granted close quarters, got the hand pass out. King went down, back comes Cook on one knee. Heard the voice, fed it out. McPhee's over the footy. Now Black's got it. Wide is still Bell. His second possession of the term. He needs to get firing. Kicks inside the 50. Again some hanging on Modra. He soccers off the ground down towards the pocket. Blakey goes back. Ample time. Uses the ball brilliantly. Harvey, sweeping hand pass. McLaren around the outer side, he's quick, and look at Pickett up the ground, who's marking him. Not a good kick. McManus tried to get tough with Pickett, picked up out there by Cook. The hand pass comes to Kickett. He's dragged down back towards McManus. They've got the numbers out there, the Dockers, but they're making hard work of it. McManus hits for the boundary line. Clayton's got it, kept it in too. Well played. Comes back towards the middle. Harvey goes into the congestion. Off his step down to half forward, and Grant 75 metres out, pulls it back to the middle. 2-on-1. Walker's got it.
Who's on Byron?
Byron's running towards the goal square. He's got it 5 metres out. Kicks the goal. Dale Kickett left in his wake.
Well, just exposed there was Dale Kickett, because Byron was prepared to do the hard running. Here he is. Watch him follow through. He just keeps going and going. I suggest that whilst we can't see, but I think maybe Dale Kickett could have pulled up thinking that Sav was going to have a shot, and Byron just slid around the boundary line and ended up kicking it from the impossible angle to miss.
There's an old saying, Jared, you know what happens when you assume?
Well, I think the best thing Dale can hope for in the match report is a typo. Pickett is giving Kickett the runaround right now. It's 13-5 to 7-4. One down by the big man Eastor, but one forward again by Stevens. Pickett into the fray again. This is getting too easy. 52 metres out, just steps around, kicks. He's having target practice. His third of the term. Unbelievable.
Well, that might be a bit of an understatement. I think there might be time for a change. He's kicked 3 goals in, 4 minutes, and even then just falling over at the contest. That's why he's so excitable. He keeps his feet on all occasions, and he just doesn't kick goals. That's why he can tackle and chase the way he does, because he's always on his feet. They have made a change, Jared. McManus has gone to him, and Shannon Grant's gone to McManus. So Kickett's free in their back line.
Simpson, high ball down towards half forward. And the floodgates, I think, are officially open. This is Clayton. He's got it 40 metres out. Dominating inside the centre square. They've won every clearance, I think, to this moment. Seems that way anyway. Shane Clayton going at his second goal. Question of accuracy from 45. Sends it goalward. They've got another one. Amazing transformation.
Well, all of a sudden the game's just been blown apart. And, well, who knows with an inexperienced coach, maybe he goes in there and he's still talking meek and mildly to players who may well needed to have a rev up. You've isolated the main issue though, Dennis. They're getting pumped out of the middle.
Well, what can he do? What can they do?
Well, coaches can't do a lot.
No.
When you've got an experienced player like Dale Kickett and having the defensive positioning he's put in place the last couple of times he's gone forward, that's not the coach's fault.
Oh,
Man.
Cook.
Missed.
Well, just as always at the base of the pack, knows no other way. Troy Cook swings it out wide. Kickett. He's got this ball about 65 metres out. Would love to kick a goal. Goes very long and high. McPhee coming around behind the defence, but Martin does brilliantly. Stood his ground, off a step, pops it out wide. Archer. Dockers need to be careful. This could develop into a rout. He swings it to the wing. Clayton wants to go.
Harvey's still running. It'll be interesting to see if he gets on the end of this, Brent Harvey. He's run from the back pocket.
He's camped in front of this pack. It's taken by Colbert off hands. The hand pass to no one in particular. McManus slides in, grabs
Here he
it.
goes.
Pickett knocks it inside the 50. Carr in the nick of time.
Get the ball out of there.
The crowd on the edge of their seats as the ball goes across the face of goal, and Ship, I think, will just push it across. That's interesting too. The umpire says throw it in. Amazing start to this term by Byron Pickett. He's booted 3 goals. And the Kangaroos, who have got 4 in total. Eastor having his problems with Burton, did well that time. Black's hand pass, indiscriminate. McManus over the foot, he's slung. Cook, Kickett. Well, his confidence, I'd suggest, is very low at the moment. Goes after the footy. Plays on with courage, falling to the ground. McLaren tries to charge through the oncoming Fletcher. It's jarred out of there. This is King. Relishes this situation. Feeds it back to Stevens. Spots Archer alongside the centre square Archer. Motlop wants it wide. He ignores that and goes to Grant. And this kick isn't beyond Grant. He's marked right on the 50.
Well, it was the old stages in that stanza of play, wasn't it? King, Stevens, Archer to Grant. And I agree, if he sets up and says, I'm going to have a shot on goal from here, Dennis, I think he will convert. 6 points here.
Yeah, I like him from here. Averaging 21 possessions a game this season. That's up from 18 last season. And yet he's been under pressure at times to hold his place. Loads up from 55. Penetrating kick. We fixed him, Shorey. Across the line goes Parker. Oh, Rocker got the behind post. Behind then to the Kangaroos, who increase their lead. So Bandy not selected. Clem Michael out indefinitely with a knee injury. Knee reconstruction. There's McPhee.
I like the look of this bloke, Jared.
Yeah, he's had an impressive debut, sure, and I think despite the fact he's given it away a couple of times, his disposal is looks to be pretty good.
Fletcher goes short, looking for Black over the top. Clayton. Fletcher overran the ball. Ship lacking support now, working against Cochrane. Played it pretty well, got it to Fletcher. Clayton bearing down on him, close to the boundary line. Ship can't keep it in. Signs of frustration for the Dockers. The Kangaroos have got the appetite for this one now. Throw in. Eastor in front of Burton. Burton won it down. In front Harvey. Goes back towards the middle and Clayton. Slickly away to Stevens. Kickett was late on Clayton. Matters not. Grant's got it now. Swings it out wide. McKernan's the target. Juggles the mark.
You just can't believe that this bloke was dropped to the seconds what, 4 weeks ago, Shorey.
Well, sometimes you need to be given a wake-up call in your career, don't you? And he's come back very well.
Not questioning that.
Nah.
It's just that the unbelievable lack of performance he had at the start of this year or the mid part of this year. It was incredible.
Well, he didn't touch the ball in one game. I think even you'd still get a kick out there, Jared. At least one touch.
Yeah, the backside.
He's got his 4th goal. Substantial touch.
Well, you're right. It's now a rout officially, which is disappointing because the way they started the Dockers, I thought we were in for a pretty interesting affair. But there's the difference. They are continually hitting targets. They're not giving 2 and 3 rubbishy handballs that go 2 or 3 metres, which gets up the effective stats. They're giving them to blokes on the move. And they're having reasonable shots at goal.
Corey McKernan has booted 4 goals. Likewise, Byron Pickett. For Pickett, 3 of them in this term. Dale Kickett is off the ground after possibly the worst 10 minutes of his football career. Just lit up by Byron Pickett. Bill out of the middle. Troy Longmuir is on the ground. Here's a chance for Ship. Will it run on? Gains a bit of momentum. The wrong side of the post as far as the Dockers are concerned. It's a behind.
Well, the ball hasn't been in their forward 50 often in this quarter, but they've already made a change. Pavlich has pushed the full forward, and Modra came up to nearly centre half forward flank against Mick Martin.
Here's Motlop. One way, then the other. Running it out under no pressure. Modra comes to him now. Hand pass comes to Harvey. Harvey to Martin. Clayton's on in the middle. Cochrane's got it now, though. Back to Motlop. They're good at this. As they release the ball, they push up en masse, but the kick by Motlop, not a good one. This is Troy Longmuir. Back towards half forward, and Pavlich had it fisted away by McCartney, missed by McPhee, taken by Pavlich. Good hand pass. Walker should kick a goal. Vacant goal square. Lovely kick.
Well, that was a good passage of play by the Dockers, although I've got to say, Shirley, that when you get a chain of handballs like that from the Kangaroos, if there was enough pressure, if there was the pressure being brought to bear that would be produced by a final 8 side, they wouldn't get it out like that.
No.
I mean, Mick Martin should have been exploded from the ground. He didn't know where the ball was. It lobbed in his arms. They've got to up the ante in the pressure stakes.
James Walker has been an interesting subject this year. Very talented player, and hasn't seen a lot of game time this year. But he is talented, and hopefully he's going to have a better future than what he has this season.
Played well last week. Simpson's kick marked by Rocker. Walker had been out of favour, and this height now is just too much for the Dockers down back, as it was last week against the Tigers. So I suppose the name of Daniel Bandy looms large again.
Cannot believe that he wouldn't be in the best 22 at the Fremantle Dockers.
Well, Sav's got the footy, and he will kick a goal from directly in front. It'll take a reasonable kick by his standards. 19 goals for the season coming in this afternoon, and this one just tapering off to the right-hand side through for a behind. Still goalless today, Sav Rocker. Interesting, this time last year he'd kicked 22 after missing rounds 9 and 10 with a hamstring, so wasn't an abject failure last year, certainly early on for Collingwood.
But last year he was the forward line.
Yeah.
Here he's just a
one
cog.
off.
There goes Black, driving it towards the outer side. Plenty of Kangaroos in front. McKernan, great mark. Eastor, what a rough baptism this is. Simon Eastor, completely outnumbered against men whose confidence is sky high. McKernan forward of the wing, told to play on, launches this one from behind Colbert, fingertips to it, runs loose at the back. Getting back is Bell. A lack of conviction there for Peter Bell, one of the best. Slight fumble across the line it goes. Well, they loved him last season. This afternoon they like him at best.
I just wonder from the kickouts, Jared, the one place you don't want to kick the ball, you know there's going to be a tall player in that area, is long out to the flanks.
Yeah.
Where you've got Colbert this side, McKernan and Rocker the other side, you just got to avoid kicking it to that spot all the time.
Hazelby, who started on the bench, spent plenty of time there too. Bell drives it around the outer side. McPhee was held on to, no free kick. Fletcher dragged down well by Archer. McManus, and this bustle of the Kangaroos unsettling Fremantle now. Boundary throw in outer side. No Keary this afternoon, but this one's in the book, it would seem. stand a chance for Simpson. Sends it inside the 50. Colbert almost. Longmuir waiting behind. Goes very wide with the kick. Coming through strongly out there was Harvey. Met solidly by McManus. Over the top is Grant. And they tie it up.
Just saw David King, as we can see there now, off the ground. I think a good move by Dennis Bagan. As much of a game time, you like to see him playing out there and playing well. If you can avoid a lot of football for the older type players, you do it. And I think David King would, well, appreciate the rest, I'd say.
Yeah, and he's just battling today. He's just struggling. So you might as well get him off and get some fresh legs out there.
Well, Prescott had him too, didn't they? Or didn't he?
Yep. He's done a good job, Prescott. That was interesting himself. Dennis said Prescott has been a known tagger, but over a year and a half, he hasn't been played in that position a lot. Now he's come back and he's doing it well again.
Yep, right out of favour. Ashley Prescott. Socket off the ground by Brown. Chopped off though by Harvey. Run down Clayton. Is that holding the ball? Well, sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. That time it was. Kangaroos wearing black armbands this afternoon. For what reason, Jared? I think the death
one of their
coach.
ex-coaches and players died during the week.
Wally Carter. Here's Black, forward of the wing. 60 metres out. Long probing kick. McCartney, that was very good judgment. Kept his eyes firmly on the football despite all that was happening in front of him. Parker twisting and turning, but McCartney had none of it. Pickett, solid shepherd as the ball comes out towards the boundary, and Modra goes up and knocks it out of bounds.
I don't think Wally was just your average coach either. As we have a look at this mark, he would have liked this one, but he coached the Kangaroos to 214 games in 3 stints in 1940, between 48 and 53 and 58 and 67, and into their first grand final in 1950. They were beaten by the Bombers, but he was the first one to get them there.
Great record. Lovely kick too from Archer to Pickett. This is Motlop driving it down towards half forward. McKernan tailor-made, up he goes. That was far too easy. It's like shelling peas out there at the moment.
It's like winding the clock back about 3 years the way McKernan's playing at the moment. He's just going up and taking everything in the air. His form in, well, he must have been a star last week against the Bulldogs. Kicked half a dozen goals.
Fair disposal from Motlop too. He didn't have to change stride.
Yep. Yes.
Corey McKernan going at number 5, then leans back, slides it out to the right, off hands across the line for a behind. Some impact this afternoon. McLaren in the foreground, off the ground for the Kangaroos. Just ruining his bad luck, obviously, when he attempted to get his last possession. Telling the story. Just over 8 minutes to three-quarter time, 105.53. Carr told to hurry up. Drives it out very wide, close to the boundary line. McManus played it pretty well, got McKernan under the ball. Now, McKernan obviously touched it, or no, the fullback kicked it to himself. Carr, of course. Update all the information from this round or the season in general, i7sport.com.au. That's the website, the web address. Everything you want to know about the AFL is right there. Boundary throw in, out of side. Eastdoor punches it back towards the boundary line. Harvey getting a lot of the ball in this turn to Archer. Slips away, kicks down towards the pocket, full-chested. Shannon Grant comes across, took the mark, wide-eyed, spot Spider, who plucks it.
His stats will be on the web, on i7, sports.com. Old Spider, he's another one who's really enjoying his time at the Kangaroos. As we said earlier, struggled early in the season. Was on the brink of being dropped. In fact, he may have been omitted earlier in the year.
I think he was.
Yep.
And he's come back with a vengeance.
Okay, Spider, do your stuff. Matthew Burton, very deliberate, head down. Wonderful technique, straight through the middle.
Well, you say a wonderful technique because he's probably got it harder than anybody in the competition. He's got to drop it another 2 feet to get down there. But he does kick well for goal, and I think you called it before, Dennis. He does convert pretty well.
Good kick from Archer.
Well, they're all lining up now because I'd say that Lee Colbert wasn't happy that Shannon Grant got in his way on that occasion. He was leading at the ball. Becoming like a training drill at the moment.
6 goals to 1 so far in this term. Matthew Burton gets his second goal of the afternoon. Coming into this game, just 1 for the season, decisively. Down to Harvey that time from Burton. Kicks towards half forward. Pickett just backs through the tackle from McPhee. Gets it across to Clayton. Smothered off the boot. It ricochets to Bell. He's still got time to do. Untidy hand pass goes to Harvey. Old habits die hard. This is Rawlings. 35 metres out. Going back is Rocker, and he's marked about 2 metres out and just missed the goalpost. That was great awareness. Now he runs around, snaps another goal. Sav, his first of the afternoon. There's a power surge in Perth as they turn off their sense.
As the ball has definitely gone left of screen in this quarter.
It went into the 50, I think, twice in this quarter. You see Adrian Fletcher coming from the ground now. Good luck that Sav did miss that pole. It might have killed someone behind the goals.
Kids will be taking up golf in extraordinary numbers over in the west at the moment.
89 plays 8-5. Dale Kickett is back on the ground, hoping to find some form, and he's gone on to Glenn Archer. That'll do the trick.
Just interesting about Spider Burton. I went to Albany in Western Australia, and you wouldn't believe it, I ran into his brother at the Railways Football Club as assistant coach.
Is he playing down there? Or?
No, I don't think he's playing, just assistant coach, and enjoying himself immensely, I can tell you that.
Good bounce in the centre. In stark contrast to yesterday when the umpires really had problems on this ground. Wrestled down is Grant. Underneath there is Cook. Scrambled out of the congestion by Hazelby. Harvey, what a term he's had, gave it to Stevens. Swings it out wide. Going back is Simpson. Simpson kicks towards half forward. Sliding over was Grant. Carr picks it up then. Swings it very high. Hazelby has to wait and wait. Arriving quickly, Harvey, who knocks it across the boundary line. So Harvey, 20 possessions and a lot of hard work and hard running.
And he threw his hands up in the air. Frustration it would be. You run hard to get the position and the ball comes in. Like you said, Shuri, it's a training drill.
Yep. I think he's carrying an injury, Paul Hazelby. I've got no doubt about that.
Burton again, brilliantly done. He's a master of locking up from in front. He grabs the bloke behind him. Not easy to do. It would take some practicing at training. The ball socket out of bounds in the pocket.
See, Pavlich has pushed down on the Sav Rocker now. I know he hasn't had a lot of supply, but I find it pretty hard. I think if you want to make a great forward out of a player, you've got to keep playing forward, even though the supply's not there. I know you can teach him or educate him by playing on another good forward, but he's done that most of the year. And it hasn't helped them, has it?
No. Pavlich knocks it down. Jones got it away. Byron probably trying for another goal. McPhee off his boot in the wrong direction. Bell paddles it towards the line. It's out of bounds.
I mean, the issue with Pavlich is that in this side, if he was picked in the Kangaroos side, he would be an in and out player. He would be one of Carey, McKernan, Rocker, Colbert, just all options up there. And he may get the fourth or the third or the fourth best defender from the opposition. Here's a kid come in. He's obviously got plenty of ability. He's getting the best defender.
King, after smothering the hand pass from McManus, misses everything and puts it out of bounds in the opposite pocket. Pavlich running with the ball around the outer side, then kicks it up towards the wing. Stevens from behind, got a fist on it and gets it across the line. They're playing with great discipline, the Kangaroos, given their lead. It's virtually all happened in one term. But they're taking no prisoners.
Has Bandy been playing in the waffle, Dennis?
Well, I don't know about yesterday, but he was best on ground the previous week when he was dropped. Not enough to get him back. He was listed as an emergency this afternoon, but his form was pretty ordinary early in the season. His confidence was very low. The ball goes out of bounds. Got the feeling in terms of selection that the selection committee was divided on whether he should play or not, and I think Ben Allen went in and perhaps inherited that situation. The other guys may have been outvoted up until then, and they wanted to flex some muscle and make a point. And Bandy went. Eastor, that's just an uneducated guess, as Grant kicks inside the 50. Pavlich worked his man under the ball, kept his head, tried for the boundary line. Brilliantly done by Stevens, and Pickett gets his fourth of the term, his fifth overall.
I'm not sure there'll be much division about who's best on ground, whether it be Byron, Pickett or McKernan. Tony Shaw giving the votes today.
Thanks for that.
But look at that. That was just great ball control. And the umpire nearly, speaking of ball control, the umpire was very much exposed on that occasion, Shuri. And he doesn't know how lucky he is. Could have been a double goal there to Byron.
That is like a firing squad, isn't it? The goal umpire at point-blank range. What happens if you impale him with the footy? Is that a few weeks? Is there a
few weeks of pain?
A duty of care? Away comes Rawlings. Kicks inside the 50. Big pack. Shannon Grant. Now the discipline going out of the Kangaroos just a wee bit. Burton to Pickett. The crowd roaring. They want another goal from him. Clayton had to wait. Walker knocked it away. Pavlich. That was ambitious. Taken on by Stevens. No one is safe with Pickett. Stevens copped a hard one that time from Byron as he crashed into the pack there. Friend and foe alike, it's friendly fire.
Well, that training drill, when you see Spider Burton crumb front and centre and get a handball off and nearly set up the goal, you're thinking, well, things are working today, chap.
As soon as the Kangaroos tightened this match up and made it a slugfest, with blokes having to win the ball inside rather than just a training drill outside, they just really did become dominant in this game.
Just going to ask something about the leadership of Fremantle. I think Peter Bell will have to be made captain next year. With great respect to McManus and also Fletcher, week in, week out, I think Peter Bell will play well enough to lead. And I know Fletcher's done it for a while, but might be waning at this time of his career. And McManus doesn't do that week in, week out.
I think that's certain to happen. Oh, brilliantly done. Down to Rawlings. Runs in and kicks the goal. Jones over the top. Manufactured something from nothing, the youngster. He had the wherewithal just to back himself.
Well, he's another one that's just been slowly developing along. Young Rawlings, and he's spent his time in the twos. He's been unlucky to be dropped a couple of times. He's shown a lot of talent. He was a tagger in the Ansett Cup with a fair bit of success. He can play, sure. He's got some talent.
I really like him as a player. Just doesn't get enough time. Any other club he'd be playing week in, week out. Just then also, that was a set play. Corey Jones, normally Adam Simpson's the third man up when they have a throw in the forward line like that.
Easter knocks it down, taken by Black. High ball towards half forward. Dying minutes of the term. Ship missed it. Archer comes away with it. It was almost a mark. He swings it out wide. Harvey. Little chip up to the wing. Clayton, he's been lively too. Haven't they all? Clayton down towards half forward. It's a high ball. McKernan on the lead. Showed some compassion for his teammate. Roving the pack is Burton. Kicks and narrowly misses. So a couple of times now in front, if you don't mind.
Dennis, you mentioned the ugliness of the Kangaroos' percentage at the start of the match. I reckon that would be something that would be dominant in Dennis Pagan's mind if they could really slam the Freo Dockers, keep them to under 10 goals. And maybe push their own score out towards 30. They're going to really jump up the table. I think at this stage, leading in, it was only 81.56.
Total recall you've got. That's brilliant.
And it's now 89.60. Just doing a couple of quick sums.
Oh, well done, Jared.
That's why you're a professional man. Burton knocks it down. Socket off the ground by Bell. Out of bounds.
And the only thing you know better than that, Jerry, would be your bank account, no doubt. To the cent.
89.60. It's what happens when you've got a terrific stats man sitting beside us, Stuart, sure.
Tossed in on the wing. Bell had it, lost it. Rawlings comes away. Into the path of Grant, who was being held. Has to get a free kick. Inside the centre square. 2010 plays 8-5. Grant loads up. Deep into attack. McLaren almost throws it on the boot. Not another one, surely hit the post.
Drag him off.
Part.
Get him off the ground.
Recruited from St Kilda. We saw him on the bench just moments ago. 2011 8-5. Hazelby. Deep in his own defensive area. Nothing much happening up the field. Goes out wide. McPhee slides. Takes the mark. Looks back towards the middle, spots Carr. Carr from half back, goes towards half forward. Over the top, Blakey, loose ball at the back, showing the pace out there as Kickett. Worked out of it though, well played by Rocker. Coming through is Motlop. That's holding the ball. He tried to bounce it when he was being tackled. Grabbed by Bell. Vacant goal square. Bounces awkwardly. Well, it's shinned across by Modra. Who's got the goal? I think it was a goal.
Bell got the goal.
Bell or Modra?
I think the umpire wanted Modra to put it through, but
I think it's Bell, and it bounced out to Modra.
yeah.
Very interesting. What an amazing bounce too. Okay, you be the judge of this. Talk us through it, boys.
Well, the bounce, and it looks like shocking. Oh, good bounce for Peter Bell.
Yeah,
and we just see
line, doesn't it?
maybe on the line.
If the answer's on the line, it's Modra's goal, but
Yeah, I think we'll have to give that one to Tony Modra, I'd say.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think we need to see that again. I wanted to put it in the book as Bell's.
so did he.
You've clarified nothing. These two are backhands it down. Taken by Cook, Walker, McPhee. Long kick, deep into attack. Modra and Martin. Is Modra being held again? It's pushed across the line. Tony Modra hasn't had a lot of joy from the umpires this afternoon. Watch it again. Now, whose goal is this? I think Bell.
Ball's got to be completely over the line to be a goal.
Ooh.
Yeah, it brings up the chalk. Does it bring up the chalk?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh,
I watched the French Open last night. Maybe we need to get the umpire.
we did a Cyclops.
A bit hard to get the umpire any closer than
Okay,
that.
what's the voting? How do I put that in the book?
I'm going Modra.
I think Bell, so you've got the deciding vote.
I'm going to go with you, Dennis.
Oh, I'm flattered.
Thanks for that.
There's McPhee coming away, sweeping hand pass out wide. There's Bell, who maybe kicked that last goal. Smothered off the boot, down towards half forward. Taken out there by Prescott. Taking a revolution with Ship. Comes to McCartney. King loves this situation. Arches the back, runs away. Goes down to half forward. Grant's got it now. Shannon Grants. Midway between the lines. Kicks inside the 50. Fisted away by Brown. Roving the pack, Rawlings pulled it back towards full forward. Going back is Carr. Gathers it into the defensive goal square. Pops it to Pavlich. Further on down the ground is Cunningham. Interesting hand pass. It's okay for Cunningham, but behind him, now he looks to half forward. On the lead down there is Ship. Got one hand to it. Cook is outnumbered. Motlop tackled by Cook. Held a long time. Parker to kick it. Sends it very high. Going back is Bell. Knocked away by Simpson on the siren. What a quarter by the Kangaroos. Are they back in form? Start of the last quarter. It's all about pride now for the Dockers. This one is in the book as far as the Kangaroos are concerned. But obviously Pagan would have pumped home the message at three-quarter time percentage. It's so bad for the Kangaroos after 3 bad losses to start the season. They need to push on. 30 goals should be their objective. And not too many for the Dockers. Out wide, a chance for Harvey. That's interesting. Sockers it away from himself and out of bounds. Starting on the bench for the Kangaroos in the foreground there is McLaren. Cochrane alongside him, Petrie, and in the distance Watt. Throw in down towards right half forward. Hooked down by Burton. Pushing through was Walker, leaving the ball behind though. Clayton comes away from half back and the high ball floats across the wing. Missed there by Jones. Pickett, who did good work earlier to buy some time for Jones, won the ball on the ground but then ran into trouble, surrounded by Dockers. Opportunity for McPhee, applied a tackle.
Longmuir down behind play.
And the beneficiary of that tackle was Carr, so Longmuir, that's Troy Longmuir coming off the ground. The mark has been taken by Clayton, so a bad afternoon for the Longmuir family.
Matthew Carr's just got to do better with that disposal.
Here's Ship. High ball towards the wing again. Taylor made for Stevens. He hasn't taken too many of those in his career. Terrific mark over Walker. Lays it off to Clayton down towards the 50 and Colbert. Outside him Jones. A natural left footer. Well tackled by Parker. Spills across to Rawlings, who comes back to Colbert. 60 metres from goal now Colbert. Too much time, but over the head of Pickett. And Black comes in to take the mark. Plenty of runners to the outer side. Cunningham takes the mark, runs through the wing, could have had another bounce, kicks inside the 50. Modra could have almost got a free, nothing doing, applies a strong tackle, hacked out of the defence, back towards midfield for the Kangaroos, comes to Simpson, Close quarters, he gives it to Rocker. Rocker, a penetrating kick inside the 50. McKernan could have got a free, and he will. Well, that's a bit tough because wasn't far removed from what happened to Modra at the other end of the ground.
Yeah, Modra got scragged. I think he's had 3 free kicks today, not paid. Here's Anthony Stevens. Does not take many of them. You see, you know you're going pretty well when you can take a mark like that. But Corey McKernan is now lining up for his 5th goal.
Modra has been hard done by, and I know it was a cat's cry of Fremantle early in the season. Possibly 4 free kicks he could have got today. And I don't think, in fairness to him, he initiated much of that contact as McKernan kicks his 5th goal.
Yeah, it seems to be a double standard at play. We'll have a look at the comparison. And Modric is, I think all of them have been on the line. But if you get your head knocked around and you get scragged like that, I mean, that is a bloody free kick. And you just can't believe that the umpires can be so ticky-touch at the start of the year with grabbing jumpers. And then you just let that one go.
Well, McKernan and Brown, a bit late in the day for this. I didn't see what triggered that. Cunningham is there, and so is Shannon Grant.
He's not taking a backward step, the youngster, though, which I like to see.
May not have had a choice. There's Burton alongside the centre circle, spirals it inside the 50. Up comes Pavlich. So a black day for the Dockers, this one. Pavlich hand passes it back, intended for Carr. Carr goes off a step, and that again is very bad disposal. So 2 in a row for Carr now, out of bounds on the full. Jones. 21-11, 9-6. Centering kick from behind. Grant launched himself. I'm not sure Pagan would be delighted with Shannon Grant flying for as many marks as he has since half-time. Out wide, this is Clayton. Held a while. Walker back to Carr. Close quarters to Walker, over the top to Black. He's a left footer. He's in trouble. Oh, in more ways than one. He's getting a free kick. In the back, says the umpire. Well, he certainly had company, and quickly. Watch this again.
We talk about closing speed. He just moved it into overdrive.
The thing, he ran past his own man to tackle though then, Byron. That doesn't happen often.
I think his own man was slowing down. I know I would. Not a tackle you'd want to be in on, even as the second on your side if the other one's Byron Pickett. The ball's out of bounds on the wing, knocked away from Bell.
I think Byron, when he was born, that doctor smacked him on the backside to get him going, Jared, and he enjoyed that too. He just loves physical contact.
Boundary throw in.
Goes back that far, you think?
I reckon. He was born that way, there's no doubt.
You've either got it or you haven't. There's Watt, hurriedly, going back. The mark is taken by Black. Oh, that's interesting. Nothing to it, says the umpire. Black goes over the top, and the umpire was right. Here's Parker, got it from Carr. Towards half forward. Rawlings showed courage, knocked it down to Watt, to Rawlings. Spider runs away from half back. Catch me if you can, he says. Gets onto it, not too well, but found a man. 100% effective, that kick. Grant's got it. Inside the centre square, spots Sav Rocker. He takes the mark 40 metres out, wrestle to the ground, and that could well be 50. I doubt it will be. No. Seems to be clearly 2 actions, the mark and then the wrestle.
Well, we're a long way from the debate that would have been raging for a lot of weeks, I guess, prior to the sacking of Damien Drum, but we just couldn't work out where the value was going to be in trying to find a replacement coach. They could have done, Shuri, I guess, what Tim Watson did and what you did, given him the letter that he wasn't going to be appointed, ask him to continue on through the year. They could still go out and find a coach. I just can't see that they've really achieved anything.
Goal to Rocker.
Except the rod for their back, having sacked the coach mid-season.
No, I agree totally, Jared. And look, you don't want to be in a position where you have to resign, know it's going to come to an end. But it is good if they understand, if they did it the right way up front, which never occurred. And it really was disgraceful the way that they went about it, the board at Fremantle. And someone told me there may be 2 levels of boardroom power at Fremantle. and they couldn't come to agreement. So interesting, Dennis might know more about it.
Sad Rocker has 2 goals this afternoon. There are 2 boards that control the Fremantle Dockers, that's right. One that sort of acts as an intermediary between the Football Commission and the board that runs the club. As much as I know. Black goes out to Carr, swings it out wide. There were a lot of boardroom dramas. Blakey up in the air, Archer tackled by Kickett. Hand pass not particularly good. Could be kicking in danger. No, coming away as Watt. Kicks it down towards half forward. McKernan storming up the ground. Oh my word. He took the legs out from a Docker who cannoned into a Kangaroo who was bringing up the rear. Lucky no serious injury. The Docker is hurt, but at least he's moved and he's getting up. That's worthy of another look. That was very dangerous, and I think at the end a good result. Bell was taken high. No free kick. Gets the hand pass to Shell. Hooks it back towards full forward. It runs on. Almost, and pushed across the line. Now Parker is coming off with a cut head.
Yeah, he hit the ground very, very heavily.
Well, I think he ran into some legs, actually. Watch this again, because his legs are taken from under him. And, oh, you're right, he hit the ground, didn't he? I don't think the man coming up connected. Oh, yes, he did.
Not with his head, though. His head hit the ground.
Yeah. Do you want to take a vote on that?
I just thinking, Peter Bell, I thought should have got a free kick in that.
I thought so. Shane Parker, what a resolute defender he's been for the Dockers over the years.
They tell us that this ground is incredibly hard. It is evidently still within the degrees of acceptable
Penetrometer reading.
Penetrometer, but I reckon it must be at the very low end of what's permissible.
So Parker takes a seat. Archer gets the footy, swings it out very wide. Chance for the Kangaroos again. Hard to believe that so many players have got space after that length of break. Here's Grant, forward of the wing, little chip pass. Spider pushing up the ground. An instant crowd pleaser. Goes around Black, is looking for Rocker. Awkward bounce, bit of sun squeezing into the ground. Picked up by Eastor, gets it across to Cunningham. Knocked away by Watt. The kick comes in from out there towards McKernan. Swooping is Jones, close to the boundary line, Brown, and it goes out of bounds. Rawlings was the man who kicked it in there. There's the official attendance today. 18,023, and I think perhaps that's better than expected.
Up on the 12,000 this time last year when these two sides met. Still not enough to pay their way at Colonial Stadium, but the losses won't be as significant.
Burton to Simpson to Grant, lines up from 45 metres out, kicks their 23rd.
It's pretty impressive footy. The level of resistance is not AFL standard at this stage, but this is pretty impressive stuff by the Kangaroos. They're going to take a lot out of this, I would think, Shorey, just as far as confidence.
Well, you can only win, can't you? And do it the way you want to do it. And there's the king there, of course. Not sadly missed today. And one person involved in that play was Corey Jones, who I like the look of him for the future for the Kangaroos.
Play restarts. Eastor knocks it down. Roving the pack is Burton. Now, was Burton in the centre square as a small man? I think he was. I think Watt actually went for the ruck knock. So the kick goes against McPhee, but that was very interesting. Back at the bounce. Grant spots a man, finds Colbert. Running on is Jones. Sends Rawlings away. Rawlings is in the middle. Colbert didn't quite know what to do, so he kicks down to the pocket. And Rocker has it run away and go across the line. 149-61.
One of the great challenges for Fremantle, in particular their youngsters that are coming through, will be just to keep positive, divorce yourself from the results almost, because they're starting their careers in incredibly difficult circumstances, getting bashed around every week on the scoreboard, not getting any easy kicks, but if they can make it under these levels and under this extreme circumstances, they'll make it for a long, long time.
Longmuir got it from McManus, kicks it around the outer side. King hit the ground running. Great mark. Penetrated kick back inside. Oh, Brown came hard. Crashed in there and punched the ball away. It's gone through for a behind.
And he's landed, Dennis. He's
out.
He's out.
Jones under it. Brown, well, we were just talking moments ago about how hard this ground is, and what a collision midway through the final term of a very one-sided game. And hopefully Brown's okay. He came right over the top.
I don't care what ground it is. If you land like this after you've been up in the air with the weight behind that, you're going to hurt yourself any time. Matter of fact, Jared, if we looked at the ground, the condition, you know, remember if you played on some of the older ground, Optus Oval after a muddy day and they tried to roll the mud down and it went rock hard. I can't believe they could be complaining about the conditions of this ground.
He is out cold though.
Young Jones has hurt himself too for the Kangaroos.
Well, they talk about commitment. Last week, Lee Brown went back into a pack and was collected by Dale Kickett, who was coming up with, I think it was Gale on a lead. Showed great courage, injured his elbow, came off the ground, and now this week, you can't talk about not having a go from this young man. He's terrific.
No, he's a sensational pickup, and along with Pavlich and Hazelby, you know, they've got three very talented kids, a number of others. I mean, we've seen McPhee today, a couple of the Longmuirs are they're both good players. Shell, we haven't seen much of him, but he looks like he's pretty comfortable with the ball in his hand. Matthew Carr's been a good pickup, but just incredibly difficult to maintain your enthusiasm when you're 10 weeks into the season, now 11. You haven't had a win. In fact, some of these kids would have had just 2 or 3 wins in their entire career.
And this is the danger, of course, I mean, for this young fellow. Now off the ground last week injured, coming off on a stretcher this week. I mean, there's a tendency sometimes, unless you're made of very much the right stuff, to get a little gun shy.
He makes his decisions the right way, because then he left his own man, didn't have any thought or problems with doing it to help his teammate out because he was out of position. The one thing I say is, Jared, if these players cannot play good football now to the best of their individual abilities with a new coach coming in and the situation the club's in, they'll never be able to play good footy. They are playing for survival. And you see it's interesting, you see even a Sab Rocker, and I agree, he's probably the third option as a full forward now instead of Collingwood where he's number one, but he's still playing for survival. He lost weight over the summer, a bit like Jared Malloy. You get an opportunity, you've got to make the most of it, and these players are going to get another opportunity if they perform.
Carr to himself, and then kicks it up towards the wing, and Fuster takes the mark. So
a lot easier to perform at a reasonable level when you've got half a dozen good players around you, Shuri.
Yeah, but gee, you should be able to shine a little, even with the clubs down. You've got to individually perform. I think it can be a little bit easy the other way sometimes.
McPhee just gave it away, taken by Rocker. High ball down towards half forward, pick it up. In fact, Colbert was up too, not good policy. Longmuir slipped, McManus couldn't control it. Black stumbling, hand passes it back. Carr under pressure. It's all about pressure now. Another player is down in the middle, and I think that's Longmuir, Troy Longmuir. Very slow to get up. Meantime, Clayton's got it. This is Rawlings. Drives it long inside the 50. Carr is down there, in from the side. The big leap came from Watt. It spills to McManus again. Swings it out wide, taken by Walker. Walker at half back. Kicks it very high up towards the wing. Eastaugh will need to go. Had it fisted away by McCartney. Kick it, got there. Knocked it towards the middle. Longmuir seems to be okay. Gave it to Shell. Shell tries to stride away, succeeds, and kicks from about 45. Going back is Bell, and he misses. One of the things about inexperience too, it's about protection, isn't it, out on the ground? You can't rely on the players around you. It makes it very tough, and these players learning in a number of aspects. I think a lot of supporters and fans see it as a one-dimensional thing, just about when you've got the ball and what you do, but sometimes it's like being on an island out there with no protection, and some of these guys are really putting some miles on the clock at a very young age.
And I think the experience of the West Coast, Dennis, suggests that the toll of being a player in a West Australian team is probably 30% more than if you're a player that's based here in Melbourne or Sydney, for that matter. Just the flying is incredibly arduous.
Yep.
And if you add that together with some of the mental scars that they've been getting at the moment, they've got to find the solution and find it in a hurry if they're to make the value of some of these younger kids.
McKernan goes long, going back. Colbert takes the mark, thought about going. His marker, Fuster slipped over. Now he goes short to Byron Pickett, and Pickett has a chance to kick his 5th second half goal.
You just wonder, even though it's been with a lack of competition today, how much this means to the Kangaroos though, because just to keep building week in, week out and having confidence in each other, we know they can play the game, as Dennis says. That's the problem with Fremantle. I got no doubt that physically they're capable, Fremantle. It's how they are taught and educated about how they play the game. There's no doubt about that.
So Pickett, 5 goals in the second half. No. Behind. Yes, this is a great tonic for the Kangaroos on and off the scoreboard. They just need to press on now. We've got just under 10 minutes. And I would think at least 4 goals would be the target for them as Black kicks off. All about percentage after they started so poorly. 3 thrashings to start the season. There's Longmuir pulling it back towards the middle. Off hands, Rocker gave a contest. Blakey hasn't been required to do too much. This is Archer. Swings it out wide. McKernan. Clayton's on for the next one. McKernan down towards the 50. In front. Missed by Clayton. Spills to Watt. Swings it back towards the middle. And the mark is taken by Fuster. 23-13 to 9-8. Kangaroos on top. Fuster spots Cook. He's at right half back. Comes up towards the wing. Pavlich has got it now. Pavlich close to the boundary line, and the mark is taken by Shell. The other thing to consider, I guess, is if you're taking thumpings like this, some of these youngsters like Brown and Pavlich, particularly with instability at the club, you wonder what will happen to their decision making.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that about Daniel Bandy, out of contract, we believe, at the end of this season. And if he's getting dropped to the seconds, it can influence your decision whether you stay or whether you have a look at other offers that will certainly be there for a guy of his ability and obviously his height and mobility.
I think style's something too with Fremantle. You know, with the half a year to go, at the start of this game they looked direct, didn't they? They looked all right. They were on the scoreboard quickly, but then they've gone back to old habits, chipping around, not moving the ball on quickly. Maybe it's just to simplify their game plan as much as possible.
I think you're right. Clayton dragged off it by Walker. Hand passes out wide. This is Black. Black chips it up towards the wing, and McPhee takes the mark. I mean, not getting a game or being on the edge or the team struggling has a lot to do with how young players do view their future. I think back to Jeff White. Couldn't crack a regular game with the Dockers and decided he wanted to come home. Some of these youngsters a long way from home. Here's Prescott, a veteran, back in Victoria this afternoon, but underutilised, you feel, by the Dockers. Centering kick. In front out there was Fletcher. Carr behind, paddles it to his own advantage. Tackled by Burton. It spills out of there. McCartney showing no respect at all.
Didn't it?
That did. Said everything about it.
Said it all.
Just came at McManus as if he wasn't there. The chip from Colbert to Clayton runs to 50. Low trajectory. Knocked away by Pavlich. Should have gone for the mark. Tapped away. After it goes Sav. Tries to paddle it to his own advantage. Picks it up now, Rocker. Gives it across to Pickett. Big roar goes through the crowd. Taken by Watt. He got it from Clayton. Didn't have the carry to Rawlings. Yes, it did. And Rawlings will kick it goal from 35 metres out.
Just going back to that McManus tackle. Alfie Langer is half his size. He should have dragged him down. He just didn't have any technique. He arm tackled him. He should have used McCartney's weight to drag him down, but it was almost symbolic of the way that the Kangaroos have gone about it today.
Well, it said everything about the attitude of the Kangaroos towards the Dockers, didn't it?
And then you go the other end, Matthew Pavlich should have marked the ball, punched it away.
Yeah.
Lack of confidence.
Rawlings tugs it way left. Just a skill error there.
And we can see here.
He jumps. He had to come in low, take his legs away, lift his legs off the ground, and the big man comes tumbling down. He tried to jump, had almost no idea about the technique of tackling, which is incredible for the captain of the club.
Here's Walker. Well, that's the theory of it anyway. Here's Carr on the wing, tackled, well done by Clayton. Just what Jared was talking about, and rewarded with a free kick. Now, admittedly, they weren't the same people, but that was a very good, strong tackle. Disregarded the ball, just took the middle of the body and brought his man down.
I mean, it may look difficult, but it is one of the more simple types of tackle. You just use the big bloke's momentum, lift him slightly off the ground, get your head out of the way, and he just hits the ground at 100 mile an hour.
Speaking of lifting, Sav was up high. Longmuir, probing kick into the forward line, chopped off by Simpson. Swings it back to Clayton. A runner inside. Harvey, who's drifted out of the game, but certainly very influential when it counted. Grant with the man running back, miscued with a kick, but it will bounce to McKernan. He was the man who was going back towards goal. A lack of respect again. Watt had it knocked away by McManus. A better result there for Fremantle. McManus showing he can't be trifled with twice. Got it to McPhee. He's at half back. The hand pass comes across, rather untidy, at the feet of Cunningham. Back to Cook. Goes out towards left half forward. Hazelby under the ball. Knocked away by Stevens. Well played by Hazelby. Just pushed off his man. Gains about 25 metres, but King goes back and takes the defensive mark. Still 5 minutes to go. The Kangaroos not scoring as perhaps they need to or would like to. Kick across the ground. Well played by Fletcher. Fletcher goes down a full forward. Modra will mark. 15 metres out. He stayed at home. And he should get his 4th goal.
Well, probably one mistake that Anthony Stevens has made all day. Centering the ball or switching the ball, not knowing that Mick Martin had some pressure around him. And as I see here, Tony Modra is lining up for his 4th goal, we believe. You think 3rd, Jerry, is it?
No, we're
Not sure.
We're unanimous.
We officially gave it to him?
We did.
Well, it could be his 4th goal for the match.
Only because you stood your ground defiantly.
Dogmatically.
Yes. He's kicked a goal.
Obstinately.
13 goals, 14 goals is now the margin, which is a flogging in anybody's interpretation. And this is one of the few blatant mistakes that they've made. They made 2 in 2 minutes, in fact. McKernan's kick up one into the ground, and that one not finding the target has cost them a couple of goals.
It's interesting. Fletcher, Hazelby and Bell, all their 3 ball winners are in the forward line for Fremantle.
Matthew Burton, well-earned rest, good game, 23-14, 10-8. Fletcher 16 possessions, Hazelby 10, Cook 19, certainly down on their seasonal averages this afternoon. That's Bell had 23. It's been an interesting duel here in Simpson.
There's no mean feat getting 23 possessions
No.
on a bloke like Simpson, and particularly when you're not getting him too easily.
Harvey tried to soccer it forward. Sliding in there is Grant. Digs it out nicely. Taken by Blakey. 200th game for the Kangaroos. Sets it long and high. Juggled attempt by McKernan. Fuster taps it across towards McManus, who concedes a behind.
I just heard this murmuring in the background, Jared, like, what was that, mate?
Byron, it's just like
Byron was hanging around.
Shark just circling, waiting to just charge in and take his prey.
There's Fuster in the back pocket.
I remember Tommy Hapey talking about that, saying you play like if you're on a raft with another bloke in the shark-infested waters, you'd fight then, or you'd be pushing him off. It was Byron, wouldn't it? Pushing your teammate in.
There's Pavlich right up back.
Might be easier dealing with a shark.
Pavlich finds Cook. So all the sting well and truly out of this one. Just over 3 minutes till full time. Troy Cook is on the wing. Back to the drawing board as far as the Dockers are concerned. Cook close to the line, over the top Stevens, and he thumps it out of bounds. Waterhouse missing this afternoon. Jones missing, and that's about it, I guess. The others are self-inflicted at selection.
They're going to have to address this second half fade out though, Dennis. I mean, nobody expected them to win here today, but really that 3rd quarter was just completely unacceptable. There wasn't any competition whatsoever, and
it came from 2 areas though, didn't it? The centre square and a one-on-one. I mean, Pickett just took Dale Kickett and shook him out of the game.
Yeah.
That's simplifying the game. Not the North Melbourne or the Kangaroos of this year, but of last 10 years, the way that they kicked it to an area and just front and centre all the time. Everybody knew where the ball was going. That's what I think Fremantle need.
Yep.
And if they know it and the opposition know it, it depends on whether you do it better than them. That's all. And that's how the Kangaroos have played for a decade.
You should just have a look also at the way Anthony Stevens had a go at that ball. It was going out of bounds. The game's over. They're 14 goals in front, and yet you'd reckon it was the last 3 minutes of a grand final.
You can't teach that though, Jared. You're born with that.
And that is leadership, actually, isn't it? McPhee gets it to Fletcher. Fletcher tries to go back to the middle. Harvey too quick. Archer swings it out wide. Nice kick in the circumstances. Petrie goes down low and takes it. Plays on immediately. Pushing up the ground. This is Simpson. Goes with the right foot. Not his favoured boot, as we can see. It hangs a long time in the air. Rocker was up. Couldn't take the mark. Tried to hog tie Pavlich was Cochrane. He wrestled him down. A bit of leg in that tackle. Not from the textbook either. Watch it again. You can hear him muttering. Oh, get him down. So it bounced just inside the 50. McManus. Rawlings. Harvey. High ball. All Dockers on the ground. In front. Colbert could have almost been held. Did very well. Came on after missing the mark. Applied a tackle to Longmuir. Bell got it to Carr. And Carr has put it across the line for a behind. Not his intention, but under enormous pressure. I think Pickett is saying it came off his boot. Is that what he was indicating? Watch
Let's
it again.
go to the judges.
Oh.
It came off his hands at least. And that's how you smother the ball. You've got to watch it.
Oh. Meanwhile, back at the game, the ball off hands and out of bounds from the kickoff. So boundary throw in. Just over a minute to go. So the Kangaroos will be well pleased with their afternoon's work. Clayton went through the pack but didn't take the footy. Grant at the base of that, and Cochrane just jumps in for good measure. Tony Shaw doing the voting this afternoon.
Yeah, just looking at the Kangaroos' next game, it's a big one. It's against Hawthorn Saturday week at the MCG. Big game that.
There's Harvey, tries to thread the needle around the corner to Blakey.
They've got the week's rest next week.
Yes.
Timely for them.
But just with Hawthorn having lost 3 games in a row, it's there's a lot depending on that game.
So boundary throw in. Deep in attack for the Kangaroos inside the last minute. McPhee hand passes up towards the defensive 50. Walker overran the ball, taken by Black. Throws it on the boot up towards the wing. Petrie hit the ball hard. Well done by the big man. Kicks back inside the 50. A lot of men up that time. Watt, a tall man, roving the pack. Picked up by Cook, surrounded by Kangaroos. Feeds it back towards the goal line. Taken down there by Fuster. Comes away rather casually. Swings it out wide. Longmuir, good mark. Hazelby on the lead, bypasses Hazelby, went for distance down towards half forward. Prescott came to it, not their worst today. Got it across to Bell, claimed immediately by Stevens, spills to Hazelby, threw it on the boot, it bounces down to the 50. There's the siren, and the Kangaroos record a resounding victory, 23-16 to 10-8. Far too good this afternoon, the Kangaroos, after a promising start by the Dockers. Corey McKernan celebrates. 5 goals for him, 2 in the second half. Byron Pickett put at 5. 23-16, 10-8.